Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button on some of you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. We are rolling to Nigeria. In a couple weeks. Looking forward to it. If you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO .Africa to learn more. We would love to host you in the beautiful country of Nigeria. We're going to be in Lagos, going to Oshogbo, Ile-Ife, Oruo. I'm going to be having a great time. So if you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo.Africa, which is the site right here. Right here. Here's the site right here. Bam. Visit Danfo.Africa to learn more. And also, guys, while you're there, please stream the documentary. Again, please stream the documentary in search of Uhuru. If you click that documentary button right there, the documentary will come up and you could stream it. It's only $10.99, but you have a limited access to the actual doc. How's everyone feeling out there? Looks like we're about to get some rain here in Atlanta. And it's back hot, hella hot, as we say in Cali. But I am looking forward to Nigeria. I hope all is well with everyone. I just overall hope everyone is having a great day. Again, I hope everyone is having a awesome a day and a blessed day. And yeah, and guys, we had a show earlier today because the argument is that on this platform we don't discuss solutions. So we had a solutions oriented show earlier today, and guess what? The people who complain the most that this platform is not solution oriented and that all we do is argue, they weren't there, and they're never there whenever we have these solution oriented topics, and they conveniently skip over that. But yeah, we had a good show earlier today. So guys, make sure you check that out. But today's topic, I'm not done yet with the announcements. We're also going to Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. Also hitting up Kenya as well, and then we're going to Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, as well as Sierra Leone in November, and then we're going to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Days. It used to be the festival; it's called Voodoo Days now in Benin, and that is in January. So again, if you are interested in joining, please visit Downfall Africa. And this, what you guys see right here, is the Bushman Hotel, which is my favorite property in the world. Best food. Oh, I love the Bushman. So this is the Bushman. That's a Bakuba mask right there. So yeah, yeah, y'all. So let's jump into it. Hebrews, Moors, Indians, FBA, Africans, Caribbeans. I ain't no African. I'm a Native American Aboriginal. We can still build with one another. Again, we can still build and work with one another. And just because we have different titles and labels does not mean we cannot put in the work, roll up our sleeves, put in the sweat equity together, because we need to come together. All right, we have to get rid of all this division. Hey, you want to be Hebrew? I might not agree with it. No problem. You want to be a Moor? You think there's a treaty between the United States and Morocco, and that implies to you as well? Hey, no problem. Go for it. I don't agree, but hey, we still can work together. UFBA, which is slowly shifting into where the slave ships at. We Aboriginals. Hey, no problem. My African my African brothers and sisters, you already know. My Caribbean brothers and sisters, we all clicked in. So yes, we all can work together and build together and create something meaningful and impactful. Oh, M is coming. Of course, M is coming. You already know M is coming. Oh boy, here we go. See, this is the problem right here. FBA, Foundational Black American, are looking out for ourselves. We are delineating away from non-FBA groups. We don't need them, and we don't support Pan Africanism. Okay, this is the issue with that comment. If I go into an FBA community, all right, and by y'all, I'm not even gonna, I don't even identify. I'm Black American, African American. I don't even identify as FBA because of comments like this. I go into an FBA community, all right. The corner store is owned by an Indian. The grocery store is owned by a Korean or a white corporation. The nail salons, the beauty supply store, Vietnamese, Korean. All owned, controlled, and dominated by non-FBA. So your comment doesn't make sense. You do need them. Absolutely. FBA still support Mr. Chow. Listen, so here in Atlanta, where I live in the West End, on the corner of Ralph David Abernathy and Lee Street, is the Mr. Chow's. And they be right in front of Mr. Chow's chilling. Eating that, and then you also got what's that? What's it called? China. Hold on, China cafeteria. I think it's called. Yeah, China cafeteria. China cafeteria. They be in there. They be in the spot owned by the Koreans to get the lemon pepper wings. What's the spot that got the lemon pepper wings? American Deli, owned by Koreans. So you do need them. We do need them. Let's just be honest. So we do need them. And the reality is, because of integration, we gave all that up. That's the reality. We gave all that up. So, we got it. We have to, FBA, Black Americans, we have no choice but to collaborate with others. And why not collaborate with your Black brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and Africa? Why not? Why not? Why not collaborate with your Black brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and in Africa? Why not? So yeah, but I'll put the link in the chat room if you guys want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. But yeah, links in the chat room. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get this algorithm, tweaking or whatever the term is. Let's get this algorithm together. But that's a good question. Somebody says, yeah, what does delineation look like outside of the reparations claim? What does it look like? That's what I want to know. What does it really look like? Get the guy. Go ahead.
So yes, in regards to this topic, I believe that we can. Yes, I believe that we can. It's like a jigsaw. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and we have to put pieces together. We're nearly there. We are nearly there, because we are having discussions. There's a lot of trade going on between Caribbeans and Africans. There's a lot of financial, economical things going on. But I mean, it just seems that there is a segment of there's a segment which is FBAs or some Black Americans who don't want to obviously fit into the puzzle and make us move forward. Because if you look around, everyone else is getting their financial and economic situation in order. If you look around the world, Asians from Caucasians. So we need to start doing stuff which is gonna make us economically and financially free, independent from the rest, from other ethnic groups. It doesn't help when all the time we have to look at other ethnic groups for financial support. We should be able to do that, and we can do that. We've got the capacity. We've got all the foundations. We've got all the minerals. We've got all the boxes tick for us to do something great. But we have to see the bigger picture. We have to see the bigger picture and, put something together that will make us economically free. I understand, we've got our differences. Not everything's going to be kumbaya, not everything, but you have to look at the bigger picture. Do you understand? There's no point being all emotional. in regards to events which have happened, 300 years ago. Events which has taken place 300 years ago. There's no point. That's just going to hold you back. That's just holding you back. We can get to that. We can obviously look at these things, yeah, look through it and pinpoint certain things. All right, this is where we went wrong. This is what happened like 300 years ago. Like, what I'm saying, this is who we can trust and everything else. But we have to look at the bigger picture. We have to start moving on a economical and financial, a financial type of mobility. Do you understand? Because if we don't do that, we're going to be in trouble as Black people around the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there is major powers. If you look at other regions, other ethnic groups, and you compare their GDP to Black nations, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and there's a big gap there, and if you look at the wealth gap as well, the wealth gap everywhere in the world. Do you understand? The wealth
Yeah,
gap is
30,
growing.
30 seconds. I got to pass the mic.
Yeah, the wealth gap is growing. Yeah, so we need to close in on that wealth gap, and the way we can do that is by being financially independent and being economically sound and having some type of momentum, some type of connectivity, something for us, what I'm saying, where we can look upon ourselves and get something for ourselves. Do you understand?
All
Because
right, guy. I got. Let
yeah,
me pass the mic. Go ahead, Passport King. Passport
Good
King. Go
afternoon.
ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, Dennis and
Loud and
everybody.
clear. Go ahead.
Can I be heard?
Yes.
Let me get started right away. You know, I'm trying to be neutral and put my words correctly. This is the crux of the issue, and I know however I speak is going to be taken as an attack. I am not attacking anyone. I'm just going to speak straightforward. There has to be honesty. There's been a lot of dishonesty. There's been a lot of throwing stones and hiding their hands. And there's a lot of victim narrative playing and acting like foundational Black Americans. That's just a name for Black Americans. It's not just online. U.S. slavery descendants, freemen, they're all interchangeable. There's this narrative to paint us as we're some big boogeyman. But let me put that aside because it's going to sound inflammatory. Let's get back to the honesty. I have spoken numerous times about these ongoing fraudulent narratives. Now, I'm not saying there's no poverty in Black America. There's about what? Maybe 20-30% of Black Americans are at or below the poverty level, but you find that in all ethnic groups, including Asians. All Asians aren't rich. But let me bring it back to the economics and the lies that goes on. Let's look at the top level of Black people in the country. The three richest Black men in the USA are all billionaires. None of them are Black immigrants. None of them are first generation. They're all Black Americans. For instance, Andrew Karp, who most people never heard of, he's made his money in tech. He's worth $13.4 billion. David Stewart, another Black man in tech, not an immigrant, worth 12 billion. Robert F. Smith, another Black man. That one some people may have heard about. He's worth 10 billion. Now I know someone's going to say, right? Well, those are the outliers. Granted, I will agree. We don't use outliers to measure average income, and that goes for all ethnic groups. The outliers are never factored in. Well, let's look at millionaires. There's more millionaires in Black America, way more than the entire African continent. Now, there's
That
one
that that
point.
that that that's not true. Maybe that's not true. That's not true. I can tell you right now, that's not
Hold
true.
on,
hey,
Dennis. You don't got to believe me.
you're
Look it
making
up
us laugh.
yourself. There's more Black millionaires in the United States of America than Africa. But Dennis, I tell you what, don't believe me, Dennis. Check yourself. You can check right now. See if I'm lying. There's approximately 1.77 million millionaires in the USA who are Black Americans, and the entire continent of Africa that has
I
1.4
think
billion people, there's only approximately
Why are you always
122,000
comparing?
millionaires.
but
I'm not
that's
pulling these numbers out of thin
hey,
air.
I'm
I'm reading
Why are
talking,
you
I'm
this off
talking,
comparing? Like, we're trying to
I'm
move
you can
forward.
double check me, Don, and see if I'm lying.
I'm talking. Thank you.
No, see if I'm lying.
I
Check it.
think I would say this on maybe on paper, but I could tell you right now that's not true. I would say there's more millionaires in Nigeria alone than Black America.
No, that's a lie,
I'm not being
Dynast.
biased.
And that's the thing. You can get
I
mad
just
at me. Look,
but because
here's the thing, Dynast. You don't have to
there's
agree with
not
me. You can check yourself.
don't talk over me. Don't talk over me. There's not a formal like system that can really keep track of it. I just, like I said, I'm not buying that. I would say there's more Black millionaires in Nigeria than America alone. Yeah, you have no idea the amount of wealth that's just in Nigeria alone. But go ahead, Pastor King.
But see, that's the problem right there. If how can there be unity where there can't be honesty and dialogue? See, this is the problem why Black Americans, whatever terminology we want to use, freemen, FBA, ADOS, this is why we don't get no disrespect because we're constantly, and it's not just white people that do it. The people who in the diaspora, not all, but many, they come with this attitude thinking we're beneath them, and they believe all the negative stereotypes in the media, and they think they're somehow doing better, more advanced. And when you look at the real statistics, not guessing games, this is facts and documented. It doesn't pan out. And I just gave an example. And again, you don't have to believe me of what I said about the millionaires. Anyone can fact check it right now themselves. If I'm lying, you can prove it right now. I'm
Pastor
not
King,
lying.
Pastor King, this is not about a comparison, like comparing who's got this and who's got that. Yeah, what we're trying to find out is if we can bridge the gap and put something in place at least.
Okay, well, did you? Okay, hold on. Did you hear what I said just a few moments ago? The gap is never going to be breached into this honesty, and there's a lot of dishonesty, and I'm not saying all,
Where's
but
the?
a lot
Tell
of
me about
people
the
in the
dishonesty.
diaspora
All right,
want
tell
to
me where the
repeat
dishonesty is
negative
coming from.
propaganda about Black
Okay, all right, all
Americans,
right, all right,
and
all
that's
right, all
going
right.
on for
I
decades.
understand. Look, you know what? We're not against this FBA movement. I think it's a great thing. We're not against it. You can, like, you know what I'm saying? You can solidify yourself and, and yeah, you can do your stuff. You can do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You want to obviously trace certain things and establish certain things, that's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is, can you tell me where this is coming from? All this disingenuous behavior that you're saying,
Wait a minute, hold on.
naming
It's not
some
no
of them.
disingenuous behavior. I stated facts, and let me put a nice little book. I know I can't go on forever. Let me land my plane. Delineation is not punishment because so many groups have shown for decades, not just individuals. We're looking back decades. We got receipts, and it's not just social media because we've seen that not all, but the overwhelming majority. I'm not saying there's no exceptions, there's always exceptions, but the overwhelming majority of diaspora immigrants, they come in, they only want to look out for their own people. They act hostile against us. We see this when this comes to politics, government grants, and they've been allowed to do that. And that's fine. So you know what we're saying? You know what? Fine. Y'all do that. Y'all already been delineating for decades. We're going to delineate and put our people first. That's not a crime. Since everyone
But
else
you
is
know what?
already
You can't
doing it,
Oh well,
generalize like that.
I got to pass the mic. Africa, go ahead.
Yeah, greetings to everyone. Greetings to the entire panel because a lot of you I can go one by one. Thank you, Brother Zinus, for the great work you're doing. As always, yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and support the channel. We'll be really grateful. Look, it's getting a bit boring to, come here and actually focus on identity politics all the time. I already I already let you guys know where I stand with this, FBA or non-FBA or African Americans or Africans, regardless, of which tribe or region or religion, you guys know where I stand. That is my list priority. I mean, the topic is great. It's all about finding a way how we can work together as people. Maybe in America, it'll be a good starting point, you know, to enlighten every single one of our brothers and sisters in the States in the next election that's coming. You know, if you want this FBA thing to work and you want reparation, you want something, some trade deal where you can make money. If Passport King saying that they got a lot of millionaires in America, how they can actually make money and connect the region, in Africa with the African Americans or the FBA, how they can break bread together, the share culture, and actually break this massive gap. There's the opportunity. We should stop this talking. We should done with the talking now and start moving in the right direction and act. Me and myself, all my life in the UK, I've tried so hard. I've tried my best, and the people I surround myself with, knocking on doors, trying to integrate communities. The things that we're talking about here is like old school to me. I've been through this before. We had communities here that was actually out there fighting each other with machetes, and the battle was non-stop in the UK. I'm telling you. Okay, Somalis versus Jihadis, African versus this versus that. It wasn't just online; it was actually physical. And today, if you look at where we stood right now, based on the political climate, we have managed to unite and work together and realize this is just a joke. Identity politics is one of the ways to destroy a community. Okay, we're not living in Africa. We're living in the West. There's so many reasons for us to unite than to divide. One thing we have in common is our melanated skin. We're visible, and our shared experience. And some of us have different history, right? I agree with that. But please, it's about time, we wind it down a little bit. Identity politics is really dangerous. I'm telling you. I've seen the bad effect of it in the UK. So, let's negotiate for trade deals. African Americans, that come to the continent should lobby politicians hard. Trust me, we actually, you'd be surprised that African Americans come to Africa. You can actually have more, voice in terms of our politicians if you want to negotiate trade deals than our own African brothers. You'd be surprised. Trust me, if you got to go through the right channels. We shouldn't be buying our African products, organic product from the Indian man in America in our neighborhood. We shouldn't be going to an Asian shop and buying our grocery store, from them and giving our money to these people, instead of opening our own shops. People should start setting up their own shops, their own communities, schools, libraries, and so on, community centers. I know people have done this. I have been a part of this movement in the UK. It's something that we should be doing instead of talking about it. Because we all probably got kids. We're gonna have grandkids to come. And believe me, not half of us that's talking here, we're not gonna be returning to Africa anytime soon. If we do return, we're gonna have kids that we're gonna leave behind, and they're gonna suffer the same thing that we're talking today if we don't change. So I pass the mic for now. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, CD.
Hey, Dennis. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
So I don't really take the whole FBA thing serious. It's nothing serious about it, right? So except if you don't live in the US, you won't know. Or if you're not going around successful people, you won't know. Only very few people trying to make some money on internet and try to create some chaos and use it as a source of income. But besides that, it's nothing serious at all. Oh, I mean, all these people that you were naming, they are all billionaire. If you ask them about FBA, they won't even tell you what FBA means. So it's just few people that are struggling, and they have no other means of making money. They just have to come on social media and create a division to get cash
See, the, see, out. The,
out.
where,
And
see, where do this millionaire live? In black community or white community?
uh,
Black community or white community?
Well, they live in a white community, of course.
Thank you.
They
Thank you.
have no idea. First of all, this guy, he came. That's how evil people can be, right? He came. He said, essential. There's a newspaper that are owned by African that they bought from African American that is failing. And I asked him when he said business failing, what it means. So even if you give me the financial statement of that business, he wouldn't even figure out what when business is going fluctuating, what causes business to be failing. You have no knowledge. So he just came out with some number of the business is failing because he get misinformation on internet from some group of illiterate people that have no idea what they're talking about, right? So living in the most powerful country in the world, coming with empty statement and make no sense. People, even outside, will be laughing at you. You first of all, being born in America, I would say it's a sort of privilege. But if you don't make use of it, then you become useless. You have no idea what you're talking about, right? So we are here talking about the difference between African, Caribbean, and African American, how to connect that gap, and someone is coming naming billionaire and millionaire while people, you know, other rest of black people struggling in the hood. It make no sense, right? So, you have to focus on people who are struggling, living in the hood. How can they get out, right? So the billionaire, they asked Michael Jordan, well, Jordan, why is it that you're not talking about racism, black struggle? Then he said, white people buy Nikes too. Black people buy Air Jordan too. I'm not going to talk about that, right? They asked Little Wayne, who came from the hood, from the ghetto, grew up from the ghetto, made in the ghetto. And they asked him about racism. He said, nah, no, there's no racism in America. So the only time people will talk about all of these things when they're struggling. They're struggling, or they are about to fail, or they are in trouble with the law, right? When was the last time you ever heard Diddy talking about racism? Because he knew you were going to go to prison. He knew you were in trouble with the law. Then he said that racism. So just that trend is always there. And there's no way that you can stop that. So when people failing, they try to hook up to something that will bring division. So besides that, all the Black American friends that I have, none of them even know about FBA. They have no idea what FBA means. But I'll learn for now. But thank you guys.
All right, guys. All right. Let's see. Make sure you hit that like button. Let me read these super chats real quick. Shout out to Larry. Thank you for the £5. FBA don't have any senators or lobbyists representing their desire for delineation and reparations in Congress. They're pathetic. Okay, JCE, thank you for $1.99. Holla Diners. I see lots of arts and things, but technology. I mean, it's not supposed to be a tech center. It's a hotel / restaurant. All right, one line. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. There are Africans in the U.S. who are part of the Black billionaire list, including Tope Owatona and Adebayo Ogunlesi. Password King is clueless.
Wait a minute, but are those African billionaires living in the USA or are they
No,
in Africa?
passport change. There's more money in this one state of
No,
Kano
but y'all
in northern
wrong. I
Nigeria
gave you the
than the
facts. Y'all
entire
didn't want to
FBA
look
wealth.
it
I'm
up.
telling you,
Y'all
bro.
claiming I'm
There is
lying when I
more
give you
wealth in northern
statistics. It's
Nigeria
not an
in one state of
opinion.
Kano than the
It's
entire
more
FBA,
made in
entire America,
the
including African
USA.
American and Black
It's
Americans.
not an opinion.
And
Guys,
You can check it
can you
right
let
now.
other people speak? We're not gonna do the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and
Let
forth
me
today.
let me pass the mic to Pharaoh. Go
yeah,
ahead, Pharaoh. Go ahead, Pharaoh. All right, Pharaoh dropped off. All right, say James.
All right, Donis, thanks for having me here. I really appreciate the topic here, and I respect what if you guys have said earlier on today. Donis, when we all heard Pan Africanism, I mean, I'm African, right? I came to the state and I heard all these beautiful words, right? Africans and whatever black coming together, to create a solution for themselves, which is a good thing, you know. And now I'm seeing that, back in 2019 when Ghana decided to have people come over for the year return, I do believe this is when the vitriol started. You know, a lot of people were confused. A lot of people didn't understand what Africa wanted, you know, and a lot of people felt that Ghana was trying to scam them. You know, I don't know. To each his own. Tariq created something, Yvette created something, but honest, you go to Africa, right? Most of these tribes that you encounter on the continent, they have representatives. They speak on behalf of millions of people, hundreds of thousands of their own people. They don't let everybody represent the tribe. That's what we grew up under in Africa. I'm from a tribe. I can't speak for my tribe. I can't tell them exactly. I can't represent my tribe, but I can't speak for them. All these specific that these FBAs are talking about, we believe they are delusional. If you really believe in what you are trying to accomplish, have yourself a leader that represents you and make a plea to everybody else, and then we will listen to it. But when you guys are coming online and talking about success, like this guy Passport King is talking about, they have more millionaires in America than in Africa. You are delusional.
You
You
can
are
look it up. It's
no.
online.
I'm not
It's
talking
not.
about billionaires.
It's
You
not
are
a lie.
millionaire. No, millionaires. You are delusional. You have a lot. I can send you the link of
So
African
okay,
millionaires living. Oh,
Google
bro,
is not
Donis,
real.
please, Donis, come on. We have bro. You haven't traveled the continent of Africa, so you don't know what you are talking about. We actually most of these people on this panel have done both. We lived in America and we visit Africa, many countries. So until you do something, you can't speak on it. Those little links that you have talking about, you have the most millionaires in America than Africa. This is a lie. I'm not saying billionaires, millionaires is a lie. So, Adonis, on the ground, Africans get along well with Black American. They get along well with Caribbeans in America. This has been the experience for many Africans. So now these people just went on to create a cult whereby they link up with one another at night. I don't know what time they get together, and they decide this is what we're going to push on the diaspora. So, and for the most part, they speak on things that we don't even recognize as an African living in America. I don't know, like we are taking grant from you. We are. Yesterday there was a lot of conversation. I was even trying to call in. It's a lot of lie. But I'm happy that you are giving your time to Africans to come to explain to these folks that everything that you guys have heard in your cults is not true. In real life, it's not true. So if you don't want to take the time to listen and understand, then you're gonna be behind. If you want to listen to throw shot at the African diaspora, then that's on you. That's your sickness. This is not my sickness. I've seen Black American go to Ghana, invest in there heavy. The Ghanaian, they're now over there tripping. They're now over there telling the people that we should delineate because Black Americans are coming. They're now over there tripping because Caribbeans are coming in there, building houses, building business. They're now over there telling their people, let's delineate because these new guys are coming. They're not doing that. They're over there welcoming them. This is happening in so many countries, Rwanda, everywhere else. I see the diaspora go in there and most of them are successful and they talk about it. So this little conversation that these guys are having is like some sort of nightmare, some sort of delusion they got going on within their own circle. They want to push on everybody else. And you cannot let that sickness go. You cannot let it happen. If you want to delineate, you should give us a timetable. When are you doing it? And then you go your way and other people go their way. A lot of Black Americans don't want to be FBA. So you want to speak on their behalf. And who are you, sir? I can't speak on an entire country of Nigeria. I can't speak on an entire country from Mali, Niger, or Ivory Coast. I can't do that. But you come on here talking about FBA. Who are you? Let people go to Africa. Let people go to Jamaica. Let people go connect everywhere they see Black folks as they see it fit. That's none of your business. You made a choice not to go. So stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. Let everybody else do it. Since you don't see any benefit in doing that, stay out of the way. You are the problem. So you want to build in America? This is not a
All right,
problem.
30 seconds. Got to pass
So,
the mic.
bro, like I said, right, Donis, I'll speak as an African, right? In order for us to build, let's stop the lies on African immigrant. Let's stop it. Let's put an end to it. I don't want Africans coming on here lying on Black Americans. I don't want the opposite too. I don't want it. I'll land my plane over here.
Yeah,
All right,
I
guys,
just
hit the
wanted to,
like button again. Please hit that like button. Passport King, I'll give you 45 seconds to respond. I got pass it to Miss Elder Sisters.
You notice the intense emotionalism coming from the more black millionaires in the USA than the entire continent of Africa. Again, I'm not begging for belief. You can anyone, not just you, anyone listening right now in the chat, check Google, check any search engine. If
let's
I'm
stop the
lying, you can let
comparison.
me
Let's
know
move
right
forward.
now. Hold on. But here's the thing. This is the point. It's not just about black millionaires. It's about this ongoing narrative that black Americans are broken. We don't know what to do. And these diaspora immigrants are here to save us. That's what's disgusting and insulting. And someone said earlier, I think it was St. James. Oh, no, it wasn't St. James. The person before St. James, I believe. Someone said something about we have the privilege of being in America, like we just won the lottery. Black Americans earn our citizenship. We've been here both as free men and enslaved our ancestors. We fought in every war, the American Revolution, Civil War, World War I, World War II. Nothing was given to us. They see this is the problem right there. They have this belief that we just somehow got lucky to be in the greatest nation on earth. Everything we got that diaspora immigrants get the benefit from when they immigrate here is what we earn. And we get nothing.
Nobody gave no African nothing in America. Nothing.
Excuse me?
We nothing.
What about the
Nothing.
1960? Hold on. What about the 1965? Hold on.
Okay,
You
okay.
could not
I'll
be in
address
the
that.
country.
Actually, I wasn't here. Wait, no. Let's have a conversation. No. Passport King. Let's filibuster with facts. I'm happy that you're bringing it. I'm happy. Let's chill out. Let's chill out, right? I'm happy. No, Donis. The 1964 bill. Listen. Passport King. There were Africans here in 1920, 1930, 40, 50, 60, 70. They were here, bro. There were Africans in America.
The same way that the Chinese are right
No.
now.
The 1964 bill, listen, Passport King, the 1964 bill increased the number of immigrants in America. That's what happened.
Don't respect y'all.
No, bro, that's a lie, sir. It's a lie.
An American president go to
No, you're a liar. You a liar. It's not gonna work.
American president go to Africa.
It's not gonna work.
African presidents come to America. They don't go to
we
Africa.
keep it
My president never came here to America, bro. So I don't know what you are talking about. Hey, Donis, let me address this lie. You said in 19. No. Let me respond. No. That's what I said. If you want to lie, right?
No,
then it's not gonna.
There are other people on the panel.
No, but Donis, you gave him 4 minutes. Let me.
I gotta pass this.
But Donis,
we'll go back.
let's give me 1 minute.
It's no Dinus. I gotta pass the mic to Miss Sister.
No, 1 minute because you gave him 4 minutes. Let me give 1 minute.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, Miss Sisters. Unmute yourself, Miss Sisters. Maya Sisters, unmute yourself, please.
Oh, okay. Yes, I just want to talk about why I decided to join this particular podcast. I've had individuals who have said that it's very difficult dealing with Africans and African immigrants because they're really pig-headed, they don't listen, and all other kinds of stuff that was said. And so what I decided to do was to listen to podcasts and hear the experiences directly from African immigrants. Now, so I'm walking into this situation with an open mind. Now, I am what is considered FBA. Okay. Now, there's just information that I would just like to share with African immigrants and people who are still living currently in Africa, so that you understand who we are. I think as I listen to a lot of people talk about FBA, there's a sense that I don't think you understand who we are. And I'm going to share something rather personal about myself to help you understand that. And Dynast, I just ask for 2 minutes. Is that okay?
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was a time limit, and I wanted to respect the time limit. Okay. My grandmother and my grandfather, my grandfather was, they were both from Mississippi, and that's where they were born. And during the Great Migration, which some of you may have heard, where many Blacks, they migrated from the Jim Crow South to the North, into mostly into the Midwest. Both of my grandparents, my grandfather had a 3rd grade education, and my grandmother had a 4th grade education. And so when I listen to African immigrants talk about how they are more educated than we are, and how they are more successful than Black Americans are, it's very hurtful. It's not just hurtful to me, but it's hurtful to my ancestors, particularly my grandparents. And I want you all to understand that my grandfather, with his extremely limited 3rd grade education, he raised 7 children. He worked as a janitor in the police department, and he was able to receive a pension. This man supported 7 children, and he saved his money, and he was able to provide an inheritance to his 7 children. We still have my grandfather's money, and that is being used today to help his grandchildren. And so what I think African immigrants don't understand is this, and there are many foundational Black Americans who share a similar story as mine. We have ancestors who fought for our financial stability. And those individuals, they came from very humble means, and they weren't educated. But my grandfather, and I honor him, I honor his sacrifice, because he scrubbed and mopped floors. He did the dirty work. And when I hear African immigrants look down upon people who do manual work, well, it's because of my grandfather and my grandmother. She was a maid to white people. They were the ones who were able to save up their resources. Their children did not attend college, but their grandchildren did. My sister and I, we both have advanced degrees. My son, he is the first male in my family to have a college degree and a master's degree. And that was because of the labor of love from a janitor and a maid who were born in Mississippi. And so when African immigrants come to FBA and say, you should invest in our country, we have the sacrifices of our ancestors in mind. And there is a sense that you're not appreciative of what it took for us to get here. It may not be as many degrees as you may have, or the advanced number of degrees that you have. I have someone in my family. He just recently graduated from a technical college. Now, it's not a 4-year university, but he decided to get a trade as a plumber. He graduated, and I can tell you every member of our family was there at his technical college graduation, and we were applauding that achievement, even though it wasn't a university degree. And so all I ask for African immigrants, you must understand, you must listen and learn our history. If you want us to invest in your country, you have to understand what is going to motivate us to invest our money that was given to us as a labor of love from our ancestors. And so I will end there, Dinus. And if anyone has
Can I,
any questions.
I have a
can
quick
I just
question
say,
for
can
you,
I
No,
just
please.
say, hold on, hold on. Hold
it's
on, no, hold
I
on,
have a
hold on.
question for
Can
you.
I just say,
oh
can
my
I just say,
goodness.
hold on, hold on.
Who has a question for?
No,
Who has
we
a
all
question
Yeah,
have
for?
I have a
questions.
question for her.
We all
This
have
guy.
questions.
Let me just
Listen.
ask my question and he
No,
talks.
go.
I
Who
don't
has the
have a
question?
question.
Guy, I can't. You guys are talking over each other. Who's gonna ask a question?
Me.
Let me go, let me go. I'll just go
Okay.
quickly, then,
Go ahead.
you can
All
come
right.
in.
So, guys, it's a question, not a dissertation. Ask your question.
It's a question, yeah? Right, okay. So, obviously, look, what I have to say is we understand what Black Americans have gone through, and FBAs, whatever you guys want to refer to yourselves. And we've always said, I have always said, that we look up to, Black America, most of us, and they've done a lot of great things, to come from where they're coming from to get to where they've got to. It's a phenomenal achievement. There's been lots of achievements which have been which has been accomplished. And we do see that. What I'm saying, we do we do appreciate that. And basically, I
What is your
think what's happened.
question?
I think what's happened.
Yeah. What's your question? I said no dissertation. What's your question?
So my question to you is that do you think it's FBAs have maybe most of you have just come across a few Africans who maybe you've had some bad bad
If
mishaps
there is
with.
no question, you can stop and let people ask questions, and you come later.
That's the question. Do you think it's just maybe you have just had a few encounters, yeah, which have caused some dismay. You've probably come across a few bad apples because on the continent they're not all the same. It's
All right. All right. Well, all right. Is
there's
that your question?
yeah, that's my
Miss Maya,
question. Yes.
go ahead and answer Maya.
Do you think that's what it is?
Okay, the reason why I continue to participate in this panel is because I understand that that some of the comments that are ill-informed by some Africans or Black immigrants, it does not represent the whole. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Because obviously there's a whole load of people. I mean, we've got what you call coons as well. You got coons on the continent as well who do absolutely disdain things and who do things which are not pleasant. And you may have come across some of them. But what you have to understand, the people coming from the continent, they are economically squeezed, and some of them are coming from a disadvantage like position. So it's like an opportunity for them. Once they land in America, they are on a mission. Let me just tell you that. Yeah. Like once they land in America, it's like they are on a mission and they've got something that in their mind that they want to do. Do you understand? So there's all types of things that come. There's all types of negative behaviors that come as well. And unfortunately, most of them that do go overseas are not well, like, they're not critical thinkers. I have to say, like, they're not maybe well educated. So sometimes things do go about the wrong way. So yeah.
Okay. All
But
right. Who has another
I,
question?
I got a
Yeah, I
question.
have a question real quick.
Well, go ahead, City. Ask your question and say James. Ask your question again. Question, not
Yeah.
dissertation.
So, Miss, my question is, which FBA faction are you? Because there are several FBAs. I want you to go into detail. What is the relationship with Africans? Number one. Number two, you said Africans want you guys to invest in Africa. How many Africans are ever approached you specifically, whether from Nigeria or Ghana, or come and invest in my country? Because your statement sounds like Africans are fighting for you to invest in Africa, or African Americans to invest in Africa.
Okay, that there were quite a few questions in there. You might have to remind me of one. Um, okay,
Your
well,
faction, which faction you belong to?
okay, what fraction of FBA?
Yeah.
Now, this is my own opinion. Other people may have may divide it up into different camps, but basically, how I understand the FBA camps, they fall into three. They're the Black nationalists. There are those who are xenophobic, and it's true. And then there are ones like myself, where we want to preserve our cultural and historical heritage. So that's where I fall. Now, if you ask someone else, they may provide a very different definition, but that's how I summarize it.
So who is your head? Do you have a specific head that represent you guys on social media? Like Terry Nasheed, are you a part of that group? Or O'Shea, whatever it is? Which fact are you? This guy represent your group?
Or
Do you have?
Passport King too.
Yeah. Do you have a specific group that head that really represent your group?
No, I don't. And I have listened to Tariq Nasheed's show, and with O'Shea Duke. How do you say his last name?
I don't know his name. I just hear O'Shea.
O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Yes,
Okay.
I have run across some of his videos. Um,
Which of
I
he was he's a former Pan African, but now he's struggling. He's FBA now. But okay, my second question: how many Africans are ever approached you that please come to my country and invest?
well, none of them have asked me to invest. They've all invited me to come
Right.
to their country.
Okay.
So
Your statement sound like Africans are looking for African American to go invest in Africa. You know, so I don't think that's the Africans are desperate to reach that level or to ask African American to go business. I mean, we had Ghanaians who
They will
invest in
appreciate it,
Africa.
right, CD? They will appreciate it if you do so.
But thank you.
Right.
Mm. The
okay,
thing is, it's economics. Do you understand? We as
Well,
black people,
we got some other. Say James had a question. Go ahead,
Yes.
say
Let
James.
me. Yeah. Based on
No,
what.
guys. There's other people on the panel that have
No. No.
been
No.
time's
waiting.
running
Yeah.
out
That's
for
me.
us.
That's me. That's
That's
me,
it.
Dennis. I'm gonna make it quick. Based on what I heard from the lady. She gave me the impression that Africans, immigrant in America, are looking down on Black American who are doing low level jobs. If I'm not mistaken, is that what you said?
there has been. I have I have found that they are not. Um, it doesn't. I get the sense that they don't consider manual labor honorable work, and I have to say that it is. I yeah, manual labor is honorable work.
Man, most Africans that come in America do manual work. That's the first jobs. Most of them don't even speak English. They
Yeah,
clean the
yeah, they
street.
they
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 they,
drive they drive it they driving
they
cabs
drive
in Harlem.
taxi, Ubers. They
Yeah,
work in
yeah.
kitchens. That's what they. That's the first time I heard this. Like someone, Africans will come on here who is willing to take any opportunity to advance his agenda is laughing at the gig. That's my first time I'm hearing this.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
not
How can
sure if
y'all all be doing driving cabs, sweeping the
no, no, no,
streets,
no, no,
and
no. Listen,
all
Pastor
the
King,
most
that's what I said.
successful in the USA?
Pastor King, that's what I said.
They both can't be true.
Donis, you see the problem? That's what I'm saying. When African, they're trying to distort our words. Actually, you're half African speaking to you. My first job in America was a manual gig. I will never laugh at somebody who's doing that in America. So many of my people here, that's what they do for a living. They raise family based on their income. So how are you going to sit on here and say Africans are laughing at Black Americans because of the low level jobs? That's further from the reality. Let's cut to this. Let's cut to this. So my next question is that look, on Africanism, right? You don't have to be a Pan African to love Black America. You were born with it. You don't have to go to Africa to show us that you love us. You don't have to go to Africa and give us money that you show your love. You can do that here. We can do it together here. We can do Pan Africanism here in America, in the Caribbean. We can do it in Africa. So delineating because you want to further help your group, I can get that, but I'm like, it's already happening. People are here, African immigrants are already paying heavy taxes here in America from day one. From day one. Federal, state, every time they get taxed, that money comes back to us, just like you. So are we going to separate because we are taking the opportunity? You said that somebody said we're taking
You
the
talking about
grant.
Africans pay heavy
No.
taxes,
You,
but almost
bro. Let me
70% of
land my
Somali
plan.
is
Well,
already
guys,
living in the
because we
U.S.
got other
dollar.
people. We have other people on the panel, so
No, I'll land my
we have to
plan.
let.
I want them
Start
done.
for
Is
30 seconds.
I
30
got you. I got
seconds.
you. I want to address FBAs. If you know the name of any grant, it's a question. If you know the name of any grant that is given to Africa and it's not being given to you, name the grant and where this grant can be accessed. If we find out Africans are taking it, trust me, you can come to us and we can advocate for you guys to get it. I've never heard of such things, but name the grant first. Let's not say grant. Name them. Thank you.
All right, let me pass the mic to James Harlem. Go ahead, James. James Harlem, be
Hello,
so.
can you hear? Hello, can you
Loud and
hear me?
clear. Loud and clear.
Once again, I'm honored to be a part of this program. I am a foundational Black American person. I'm somewhat upset about some people on this panel who are Africans trying to define me as a foundational Black American, or trying to define us, even trying to categorize us for having a problem with us delineating without truly stating or understanding what actually we're doing in delineating.
Well, you
What
know what? Let
I've
me
learned,
let's start there. What are you actually doing for as far as delineating goes?
what I've learned as far as my new descriptor for my lineage of people, well, I've learned that in order for us to change our condition, we have to change our condition, because nothing changes if nothing changes. And going
What?
by
Nothing
terms,
changes if nothing
nothing
changes.
changes if nothing changes. If you don't do something, you ain't gonna get something, is what I'm saying. So
Okay.
what I'm doing,
Okay.
what I'm doing, and with other people who realize that delineations is a requirement, is a necessity. I'm not saying my delineation makes me better or my delineation is in effect to hurt anyone else. It is self-preservation. Why do I say it's self-preservation? I say it's self-preservation because the term African American is an inaccurate term for our lineage. There are other people from other lineages can claim that term also. So it is an inaccurate descriptor for the people who've been here from the foundation of this country. Foundational Black American is an accurate description. And with that description comes a unifying force and an effort made by those who consider themselves foundational Black American. Now, I don't unify by hating someone else. I unify by understanding what I am in particular. And therefore, I'm able to teach the next person who is also foundational Black American who they are. And what we are people who are owed a great debt to this country that has never been paid. Our foreparents has worked it to make this country what it is. That's able to allow other people to enjoy the fruits of the rewards from the wealth that was denied us. So me as a foundational Black American person, what I do is I try to inform, I invest in the next foundational Black American person and let them know we have to fight for our inheritance, for the things that were denied our foreparents that should be part of our generational wealth. We have to fight for that. And the best way that our ancestors has afforded us is this term that we can use as a unifying force, that we can invest in ourselves, that can aim us in the right direction so we can achieve these things. Because if we are granted reparations as we should be, we are going to be some very, very wealthy people. And we are talking about many millions of us, because many, many millions of us are owed this debt.
All right, let me pass the mic. Next
Donna,
is
can we, since it's a FBA, can you allow Africans to throw them two questions? Just two questions. That would be nice.
no, because it turns we have people. We have
No,
people.
we
I'll
won't
be
make it.
glad to
Oh
answer.
I
man,
guarantee
Tay
you.
I'll be
James,
glad to answer every
chill
question.
out. Let me pass the mic to TT. Go ahead, TT.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man. How you doing, man?
Good.
Yes. Like the FBA, the word every time I hear the word FBA, in my mind, it sounds like Black people who hate themselves, and they say, "Hold up, I'm not African. I'm here. I'm here. I'm not. I did not come from Africa. I was born here. This is where I'm at." And there's even some who think slave never happened, and the slavery, the transatlantic slavery, is the worst atrocity in human history. That's the worst thing that ever happened to anybody. So I'm not mad at my brothers in America, because so much evil was brought upon them, and their minds is, so I'm not, so I see the FBA and it says, okay, foundational Black means I was here, we were here, but so I just see it as that part, and 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 this country, it paints a picture to everybody else who's not here. It paints a picture like the Blacks in America, these guys are lawless. These guys are dangerous. They will kill anybody. They have a very lawless. They're very crazy. But other people don't understand, like, it's because of the severe oppression, like severe. Like now, we blacks in Africa, in the Caribbean, everywhere, we are also oppressed. But the blacks in America are oppressed severely because the blacks in America are the leaders of black people on earth. So they are. So I don't blame them if they say, "Well, I'm from here. I'm not from Africa. But mom was here. My father was here. I'm not. I'm not from here." So I understand. They see what I'm saying. And then like the other thing about blacks, I heard somebody say, "Yeah, yeah, Africans, they come here and they treat blacks here as if they're not the same. Like not all black people in Africa are the same. Just like in Asia, not all Asian people are the same. And so why do we think that every black people in Africa are the same? The Chinese is not the same as the other people. So all this thing, you guys are saying all this, but you gotta understand like the root, like why these things happen. And it's like, and it's like and it's like not all blacks are the same. And there's a specific blacks who are targeted. The specific blacks who are targeted are the West Africans, the African Americans, the blacks in the Caribbeans. They are the most targeted people on earth, not the East Africans or other people. So my whole point is like we have to understand like why these things happen, and just understand like a guy has to come and explain you to the truth. Like yo, my man, this is who you are. This is who he is. You know what I'm saying? The FBA, they're saying, oh, this and that. Okay, but you understand these people are our people because the slave ship it left from the coast of West Africa. So the blacks in America, they came from the shores of the Nami in Liberia, in Ghana, Nigeria, Saloon, Senegal. That's where all they come from. The blacks in the Caribbean too, they come from the same place. And so now I just want us to understand that we are the same people. We are the
Dennis,
same
I'd
people.
like to respond once he's done.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I just say?
Yes, and
No
that's what I
one's
have to
against
say.
FBAs.
No.
No one is against
no,
FBAs.
I'm talking. TT, are you done?
Yes, I'm done. Yes.
All right, go ahead, Miss Sisters. You can respond.
All right. The reason why as I said, I'm here, I just want you all to understand a little bit about our history that's oftentimes not communicated through the media and also in our college and high school courses. TT, you said a couple of things that I found rather interesting that I would like to respond to. First of all, as an FBA, I hate no African or African immigrant. I hate no one. So I just want to set the record straight on that. Number two, there seems to be some misunderstanding why FBA are delineating. And Dinus, if I could have another 2 minutes
Go
to
ahead.
explain.
Take your time. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I shared with you all the family ties on my mother's side of the family. Now I'd like to talk to you about my family ties on my father's side of the family. And my father's side of the family, his family hailed from Arkansas. On my birth certificate, it says for the race of my father, Negro. Okay, and we'll come back to that in a moment. And then for the place of birth for my father, it says unknown, Arkansas. Now, here is something that I have found that Black immigrants and Africans just do not understand. They do not understand the Negro experience here in the United States and why FBA is delineating and we're trying to protect our culture, and also why there is a quest for reparations. As I share with you, on my father's side of the family, they're from Arkansas. Now, I am quite certain that all of you all are aware of, of the story of the Little Rock Nine, of the Black children who were blocked from being entered into the Little Rock, Arkansas school. What you don't realize is this: the state of Arkansas was not just denying Blacks during the Jim Crow period an education, they were also obstructing public funds that should have gone to Black families. Now, what the state of Arkansas did by not including the birthplace of my father and his grandparents is that they were counted for the purposes of representation. However, when public funds were dispersed, there is no record because there's not a place of birth in a county or a city. And so there are, in terms of reparations, we are not just fighting, it isn't just a battle of racism, it's a battle about our legal standing and also a land claim or access to resources that our ancestors were denied. And I will just leave it there, and you all can answer questions. But
I got a question.
Yeah, I've got a quick question. So how are you gonna get reparations if you're delineating? If you're delineating from the continent, how are you gonna get reparations?
okay, here is the issue, and unfortunately, FBA they are making an emotional argument. They are not putting together a legal argument. I am not an attorney, but I have spoken to some constitutional scholars, and the way to get reparations or a way to make a sound legal argument is
Yep.
to discuss the denial of the use of a property that should have been bestowed upon two Blacks. And so that's the reparations. Now, here is the question, and I would like Black immigrants and also Africans to answer this question. How do you have legal standing in our country if there is a dispute over land ownership? What is your standing? And I'll just wait.
Oh,
The
I don't understand that question. I
the
don't
legal
understand that question.
standing. Okay. So, do you understand the mechanism that Africans use here to become citizen? Do you know the path to citizenship?
You know what?
Because yesterday you spoke. Yesterday, I was trying to talk to you, but I couldn't get to the live. But let me give you an example. Because you say an African immigrant. Let me address it, and I ask a question. I try to respond to your question.
I don't know the citizenship route, so I just wanted to say that.
I'm sorry.
I said
Except he doesn't know the citizen routes.
Okay. The citizen. Okay, I'll respond to you. So when certain people call African immigrant, of course we come from different countries. But the ones that are on this live, I don't know if CD's still here. We have legal status here in this country. We are considered American citizen as well. This is what is written in the law in America. So when there is a land dispute, what exactly does that mean? We are on American soil. We are Americans. This is where things stand. So most Africans that come here as immigrants, they get legal status. and they are American citizen, period. So when there is when there is a land dispute, we are on the soils of America until we turn our back on America and go back to our countries. As long as we have legal status here in America, we are rightfully we are here in America.
Okay, on the topic about paying back and reparation, I think we forget a very important detail. We came here as property. These people don't and will never respect us. Like, for example, if I bring you into my house as my slave, I will never see you as my equal because it makes no sense.
Are you referring to Caucasians or what?
Yes.
Caucasians, yeah? Okay. Make that clear.
They don't view us as equal, but our future is very, 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 very bright. The point is, they will not give us reparation. But what we have in the future will be much greater than that. And that's what I got to say on that.
I've got a
Donis
question, May.
is a U.S.
Can I
citizen in
respond to
America.
that? Can I respond to that?
I have a question for Donis. Is a
My
U.S.
response
citizen an American?
I mean, I asked, can I respond?
Huh?
I mean,
No,
this is James Harlem.
I gotta pass the mic to M. Go ahead, M. Go ahead, M. Mute yourself, M. M. All right.
Donis, can you answer,
I've got
please?
a question for May. I've got a question. I've got a quick question, yeah?
Go ahead, M. Go ahead, M.
Are you talking about BD?
Not, yeah, MBD, yes. BD.
Okay, yeah, Peace Prince. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you. Peace to everybody on the call in the chat. Just to answer your question, the question of the topic of the show. Being that I'm a student of E5, we're taught to look at things through a spiritual lens or to look at a situation through its archetype. Hello?
It's BD's turn, not your turn. Whoever said, can you hear me? Go ahead, BD.
Yeah. So as an E5 student, we're taught to look through things through a spiritual lens or through the archetype of the situation. So I think I can illustrate answering the question to the title of the show through this story of E5. It's a short story. It concerns the deity Eshu. One time there was two best friends that were the best of friends. They did everything together. And one time they were cleaning their farm, and they were standing on both sides of the road of the farm. Eshu happens to walk by in the middle of the road. And Eshu was known, he's known for having a hat that's multicolored. So Eshu walked between them and kept on walking through the road. Then one of the friends said to the other friend, he said, "Yo, did you see that strange looking man with that hat?" His other friend said, "Yeah, I saw him. Man, he's a strange looking dude, man. Did you see his hat, man? The blue and white hat he had on his head?" The other friend said, "Blue and white? What the hell are you talking about? He had a red hat on. It was red and black." The other dude said, "Man, you must be crazy. Are you blind? The hat was clearly blue and white, man." The other dude said, "Man, you blind, man. You a stupid dude, man. The hat was red and black. I saw it, man. He walked down. It was red and black. How can you say blue and white? It was red and black." So they got into an argument, and things got so heated to where they almost got into a fight. From that situation, they became the worst of enemies. And from that situation, their own enemies, started to take advantage of them, because at one time when it was unified, nobody could defeat them. But since now they were separated, the enemy started to take advantage of them. Now, a few years goes by, like 10 years or something goes by. Eshu walks down the same road, but going in the opposite direction that he came the last time when he went to them. So as he was walking, that means the same hat that he had on his head will be visible to the other guy who saw the blue and white, but now he'll see the red and black, while the other guy who was seeing the red and black will see the blue and white side of the hat that he saw. And they said, "Damn, you was right all along. It was blue and white." And the other dude said, "Yeah, it was red and black." The moral of the story is that they were both correct, but due to the angle of how they were looking at the situation, they thought the other one was wrong. And that situation led to them being divided. So bring it back to the topic of the story. We as Black people got to realize that Those two farmers could represent the African from the continent and the African in America, the African American. We're looking at things from two different angles, but we're both correct on what we're seeing. But from the angle that we're viewing it at, it's causing the dissension within the ranks. Everything in nature has a symbiotic relationship. You can even look at the clownfish and the sea anemone in the sea. The sea anemone protects the clownfish from its predators, while the clownfish eats the little parasites that's disturbing the sea anemone. We gotta, as Black people, we gotta understand we gotta work together because we have an enemy that's bigger than both of us. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The friend of my enemy is my enemy. One hand washes the other, and both hands washes the face. You know what I'm saying? Once we get these concepts together, man, I think we can move forward, man.
Great story, man. Great story.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a good point. Hey, but I can't, as a foundational Black American, I cannot rock with nobody who's going to tell me that I'm not going to get reparations.
You're not gonna go ahead.
Bro, you not for some reason you got a problem with me saying anything.
Hello.
Go ahead. Only unmute yourself. Only.
Okay, thank you. Peace to everyone on the panel.
I wasn't finished, but
yeah, how you doing?
How you doing, sister?
Yeah, greetings, sister. Greetings.
Thank you. To answer the question, a resounding yes. I think we can love each other and work together. It take a lot of work, and we need to understand. And I keep saying the same thing, but I'll keep saying it until we understand. We need to understand that the white world does not want us to unify, and they will get agents in our midst saying horrible things, continuing vitriolic words to trigger us and get us divided. And I think we need to have a self-awareness to know when we're getting triggered and to just remove ourselves, or have somebody designated as the person, the liaison person to deal with these people. But I do believe that there are agents among us, and we have to be careful on both sides, on all sides, not just one or the other side. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, no matter what, we have to keep building. We have to have schools. We have to have businesses, and we have to, what is the word, patriot? We have patronage those businesses. And also each community, have their own problems. And I do think that for a while, the Africans were very loud and very, they exude strength. And it became a thing to just kind of lean on them. And I think they're saying, no, like, don't lean on us. I think we should understand that Caribbeans, we have our own issues that we need to deal with. Africans, you have your own issues you have to deal with. And Black Americans have their own issues. And we learn and deal with our issues, and at the same time, connect with those who want to connect with us.
Valid point.
Yeah,
One thing I want to say quickly.
Hold on. You guys just speaking.
Just quickly.
Hold on. You've been speaking.
All the people you name are the same people.
I mean, listen, there are different type of Africans that go to the West. Okay, you have Africans who, came from an educated class. Some of their family members are politicians. They have the money. They already been educated, or they've been sent to study in top universities. You got Africans that have been there, that came from a very poor, modest background in Africa, and they go there to do laboring jobs. So we have to be specific. I understand. I totally agree. That's Egypt. I met people who've been paid. Listen, I have spoken to people who have been paid to do this online. What the sister just said is.
You want an example? Africa. I give you a name. I give you a name right now because we're not scared. So Africans that live in America, we are not scared to name names. Tariq Nasheed has been paid to bring disruption. He has been paid for that work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
as we speak, all these people who are listening, go to his
Mm,
channels,
yeah.
and look at his
No,
thumbnails.
I'm
How
not
is
I'm
no,
not
no, let me,
denying that.
I'm gonna let you speak, right? 1 second.
Yeah, yeah,
Go on his
okay.
channel and look at the
Mm,
thumbnails of how he depicts Africans. Just go and
mm,
look at it. And some people
yeah.
come on here and say Africans are being divisive. Just go on his channels for the last
Yeah,
month.
okay.
Look at the videos.
Okay.
Who's
Don
paying
Okay.
him?
Colloway as
So
well. Don
yeah,
Colloway.
yeah, okay, also, yeah. So yeah, I mean
If
you
you
both
can't
making a
say
good
who's
point.
paying him,
So
you a liar.
so yeah,
Who's not
so
paying
look,
him? If you can't say who's not paying him, then you're a
James,
liar.
let the man finish.
yeah, thank
God
you.
bless you.
So
I ain't saying nothing else. If he can't prove it,
they asked
if he can't
Oh
prove
man,
who's
say
paying him, he's
James.
a liar.
That's
Say
not me,
James, man,
Dynas.
come
don't
That's
on.
worry.
not me, Dynas.
Who's talking?
I'll
Keep it
let you guys
intellectual,
go.
man.
Yeah, please, yeah. So this is a problem that we're facing in the community. So I mean, if someone like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and the great Black Panther Party could be infiltrated, I mean, we that so disillusioned, we could be easily infiltrated out there today. Easily. It could be Tariq Nasheed, it could be me, it could be anybody out there. Trust me. And there have people who told me that,
All right,
they've been
30
approached.
seconds. I gotta pass the mic to the new people.
Yeah. So let's just be careful, how we approach things. And let's approach it based on a progressive point of view, not on a divisive point of view. Please, thank you.
All right, go ahead,
I've
Kid
just
Ola.
got one thing to say.
No. Go ahead, Kid Ola. Unmute yourself, Kid Ola.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. I would like to ask that boy who's have British accent, which country is he from in Africa? Before I start going on, the guy have British accent. Where are you from, please?
But there's two guys with British accents.
No, the other guy. Which country are you from?
God gift.
Well, me, I'm a third generation. My background is it's a mixed background, Caribbean and African as well. I got two.
You lie. Let's finish.
Why?
You see this problem we see now playing out in internet. This start now between the Africans and the Black Americans. This also started in UK also. So I don't take the Jamaicans out of this problem also.
No, they're not.
We Africans, we Africans will be bamboozled as a caricature in the eyes of the Western media, where these other blacks are staying by showing us as Tarzan and the white boy in the comic, So their image what they have about us is we don't live on homes. We kind of like Tarzan, the white boy was showing things to. We don't even know nothing in our own zone. So when Africa started coming to this Western world to study, these are the eyes that were looking at us. A little bit funny, a little bit, are they animals? Who are they really? Even when the Africans were coming to study nursing in UK, the Jamaicans were really the Jamaicans were really going after them. They allowed them to
they
breathe.
killed one in my city, Ola. They killed one in my city.
Thank you very
good
much.
Doctor student. Yeah.
So the one that came to United States in late 60s to 70s will also be treated the same way also by the Black Americans. Only at this point they have a voice. They could say nothing. They were kind of like asking themselves, is something wrong with me? What is going on? Then they start attacking their children by calling them, or whatever they want to call them, African body structure, boo-boo. They make a mocking noise. Until today, they're still doing it. They're still doing it. No, I'm just honest for you. My dad came to the United States to study in 1973. He told me things. Even when they put him, when they were doing his teaching practice in dominated black secondary school, those Black Americans will continue bullying him. That's when you understand, whoa, you can't touch it. You see, if you touch me, they just told you, if you touch me, man, I'm going to boom on your head. Then he kind of like withdraw back. They look at them. It's not what he used to in Africa. Student listen to teacher. Then the hatred started slowly. Without even few Africans that were in the United States, very few that came to the study. Come this internet of a thing. The grandchildren of those people who were hated Africans picking up from there. Now the grandchildren of those Africans don't want to take that shit anymore. Not with the Jamaicans, not with the Black Americans. In UK, the Jamaicans call Africa Bomboclat, all kind of names. In America, they call us all kind of fucking shit too. But you think you can be pouring sand in my eyes continuously, I will say, that is not enough? Whenever this money came of reparation, they come as, is it the African that attack first? Oh, we don't want the Africans to be, Africans never said they even want money from the white man. But they use Africans, the motto they came with, them with the Africans, they take their cousins along with them, the Jamaicans and the Caribbeans, and say, them with you too. You know? So we just have to find a way. If you want to know me, I know you. But get it, let me correct, the beautiful lady, the advanced lady. Now, there is nobody in Africa. Ghana can be a little bit, I don't know if I have to, I can't really talk about Ghana. Say, please come and invest in my country, or beg you to come and put your money in any place. If you decide to invest in Africa, that is your prerogative. It's not the Africans that ask you to come and invest. We can know each other slowly if that come to be. If it didn't come to be, we can also learn to agree and disagree, maybe live separately in peace. That just so, Dennis. Thank you very much.
But there's also Black African online, like saying a lot of bad things about African Americans, how they this and that, and also over here. So it's both sides. But you a terror. You a terror. Yeah. You a terror. No. Yeah. So no. Be nice.
All right, guys. Let me read. I gotta read these super chats. Perseverance Channel 5581. Thank you for the 20 pounds. Reparations will come from leverage. Black people from celebrities to normal people may need to withdraw their talents from the evil overlords. The objective makes them lose money. That may be a start. All right, go ahead, M. Unmute yourself, M.
All right, thank you, sir. I want to first respond to Kidola saying that the white man has made them a caricature, and then some of the videos they showed like one of the African scratches behind. That's probably where it came from, but he totally disregarded Black Americans' portrayal of Africa, particularly coming to America. One of the most famous, probably the most famous comedian, Black actor of all time, Eddie Murphy, portrayed Africa in a very high light. At the same time, he also portrayed Harlem and Harlem Nights in an equally high light. So Black Americans wasn't the ones doing this, but we somehow get the brunt of the hatred. Even though he just admitted it was the white people that portrayed them as these so-called savages. But I want to talk about the topic being more positive, and I'm more pragmatic and scientific with my perspective or disposition. I would say us in America, Black Americans, we haven't really experienced true freedom and autonomy. We always tried. We tried to build cities and they get destroyed. We tried to set up countries like in Africa, and that somehow got destroyed in Liberia. And I think at this point, I heard, I know I'm going back and forth. I heard this guy, I know everybody hate this guy by now. It was a dude named Jay Morrison. He had this Tulsa real estate fund. And it was something he said I thought was profound. He said, we need to start a plebiscite. That's basically how every country become independent. So you have a political body and then we vote to get our independence. You separate. And when he said this, like the whole Black American community, Yvette Carnell and Tariq, they both united against this guy, and then Tariq made him a clown from a plebiscite babble. So the reason I really don't ascribe to Tariq and FBA is because what's the point of us being so-called an American society or the United States society if we're always going to be super oppressed? And what's the point of us not trying to be autonomous as a people?
because we need to put our cards on the table. We need to play our cards. If it's poker, my thing is, I don't think the white man in America will ever want to get rid of us. We're too valuable. We're like the golden goose, the goose that laid a golden egg. They don't want us to go. Even if we say we all independent, they're going to force us back to be here. You know, I don't believe they're ever going to do that. But we never really put our cards on the table to like let test us, send us somewhere. What do you call it? Deport us. You saw when everybody was talking about they're going to deport Black Americans, in a white society got together and started deport and turned it on all of the immigrants, and then shut that down when the immigrants were talking about they was going to deport Black Americans. They don't want to deport us, but I don't see Africans as a whole in being more inviting to us, like advocating for us to actually get land over in Africa, to have autonomy. Like when a person said earlier, it's usually a stipulation, a caveat, like in Ghana, oh, you must have 500,000, you must do this, you must do that. I'm looking like, you don't really got the leverage to demand that. We don't really have to do anything, you know. We could just stay home. But a lot of us are so benevolent, we actually acquiesce to that, and we come with that money and become citizens of these countries.
You know there's a lot of Black Americans who have land in Africa already.
I mean, we already discussed that many times. Them big chiefs
for $1,500. $1,500, they got land.
Them chiefs with them big bellies come back and take the land back. He renege on the deal, like you know that.
No,
you know
for $1,500, they got land.
What I'm saying is,
there you got to get your papers right. You got to get your shit right.
Let make his point.
African people as a whole, they don't do enough on their end to advocate for like some type of unity. It's usually, this is our land, it's our, like they really don't offer anything yet. At the same time, I heard a dude earlier talking about we are American citizens, we pay taxes. Like you want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want to be able to enjoy the luxuries and the benefits that we have over here.
I was just citing the law of your country. That's all I was doing.
Disregard the suffering of us.
No one is doing that. It's in your head.
You do not want us to have autonomy like y'all have all of these autonomous nations.
It's in your head. This is where the problem is at. That's in your head.
Enjoy that. At least give us some vacant plot of land so we can just say this is ours. Like
I just told you there is a vacant plot in Ghana for $1,500.
These guys.
But I'm saying it's not. But it's still under some big belly chief in a country.
That's why we said if you don't learn to listen, you're gonna suffer. And I see you suffering. And I want to help you but there is no point of helping you because you are not listening.
Jumping in. Nobody told you I'm finished yet.
I'm responding to you, bro.
Listen, I'm not even done yet. What I'm saying is
I don't have to wait for you to be done.
African people have autonomous land over there, and they are in America, and they are in the Caribbean, and they are in Asia, Europe, but they don't want nobody else to have autonomy. Obviously Africans is a pronoun. But I'm saying is us Black Americans, we don't really have anything. Most of the cities we built that when we was doing segregation, they destroyed it. We don't
destroy the Africans. Africans.
Obviously, white people, the one you love to be around. But I'm saying, like, we don't really have power and autonomy. We have a bunch of money, a bunch of skill, but we don't have land. We're not autonomous.
But let them
Africa is a competition. Life is competitive.
Hold on,
let them finish his point.
You have to have your cards in order.
Square miles of land that you're not even using. You don't even have the generosity or the decency to say, okay, won't y'all come over here and get this, like Haile Selassie did, or like Israel did for the Hebrew Israelites.
If we show you videos of African president coming to America, talking to Black American, telling them they need to come to Africans for all these things that you just listed, and no one showed up. If we show you video, would you change your mind?
You reminded me of the African delegates that came to talk to Trump from South Africa, Liberia.
Man,
y'all didn't come to
bro. I'm not talking about yesterday or last month or last year. I'm talking about
listen. You don't even want to
over the course of 2 decades. African representative coming on here on your soil, even going in your neighborhood.
When was this?
Harlem, New York, telling you link up with Africans. For all these things that you just mentioned,
but
no one showed up.
I'm talking. What I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is
I'm
this:
gonna
where is
1
the
second. Can I ask you a question?
autonomous country that's owned by Black Americans in Africa?
Okay, bro, you
Yeah,
taking me somewhere else now, bro. I don't.
basically, look, I
You want a piece of
I don't
plot
want you
now?
to
You
have.
want a
No,
country
St. James,
next
1 second,
tomorrow?
1
You're gonna
second.
you want the moon?
Okay.
I don't know what you want, bro.
Okay, St.
I
James,
mean, you
listen.
got billions of square
1
miles
second.
in Africa.
I don't want you to think all Africans are against you, or you don't have an ally, or there's no Africans haven't done anything. Listen, if the day African Americans or the FBA will actually have a lobby group to the ECOWAS or the African Union for a land, to invest,
Why don't you
not
do
just
that?
empty land.
Why don't
Me,
y'all do that? Why don't y'all advocate on our behalf? Why we always got to advocate for everybody?
we cannot. We listen. You don't understand how the African system works.
When the president of Ghana came to New York, who was outside protesting?
That's a false equivalence. He's coming to trying to grift those
It's
some
not.
reparations.
You said, why you don't advocate for it? The man was here advocating for everybody. You guys were
we're not
outside
against
protesting.
Black Americans. African majority of Black Africans are not against Black Americans. I can guarantee you that.
It doesn't matter if you're against or not. Where is the action where y'all are trying to give us a homeland in Africa?
Bro, you don't even want to
We
land.
understand, man.
The only homeland we have in Africa right now.
Get your cards right.
Israel.
You have to get your things in order and
Israel. We have
bring
nothing
it up,
in Africa.
represent. You get me?
You need to understand how Africa
Get your
works.
things in
You need
order.
to understand how Africa works and how our leaders work.
There's a big belly chief sitting in a jungle thinking he owns everything.
Exactly. So
now you see how you representing Africans. We talked about it 10 minutes ago, and you said
so now you start
that
to
this thing was done to you by white people, right? Let me address the part that he doesn't understand. Right. All these pictures on all these way you guys were depicted, right? You said the white man did that. How would the African feel, right? Seeing a black man in America and doing that to them. How would you feel?
What are you talking about, black people portray Africans.
Just look at Tariq. Go to his videos. Look at how he's depicting Africans. Just look at how he's just not even the way he talks on African. Look at the videos. He's depicting us the way you guys were depicted by a certain group. That's what he's doing. And this guy's sitting on here telling me that he's not getting paid for that. So this is difficult. This is difficult for Africans to believe.
What does Tariq Nasheed matter?
Well, no, it matters because Africans look into that, and someone like me, right? Someone like me, right? I'm not going to get mad at you because of Tariq. Let me tell you. So, someone like me, I'm not going to get mad at you because of Tariq. But most of these young Africans, when they see that, they're going to come back and give it back to you. They're going to, the same vitriol Tariq has for them, they're going to respond the same way. This is what we got on YouTube.
He's the perfect scapegoat, but I'm saying Africans have been benefiting.
And you guys are mad. No. That's what I'm telling you. You guys are mad at these Africans who see them being depicted by Tariq Nasheed, and they want to respond, and you guys go after them. Go after Tariq Nasheed. He come from your lineage. Go after him.
Why would I worry about Tariq Nasheed?
Guys, let's keep it intellectual.
Africa has millions and billions of square miles of land, and the only people they want to give it to is the Chinese and a white man.
If Dennis is not there, let the mic go back to
let me just say
when are y'all going to advocate to give us some land in Africa?
Bro, all of you guys sitting on here talking about some people ask me to be kissed to unite. You guys are delusional. If you are kissing ass to just to unite, it won't last.
Y'all are
that's about what it is.
Kissing ass out.
It is obvious to certain people their ass want to be kissed. And you guys need to learn from that.
We want everyone to look at the bigger picture, the greatness of blackness.
Osei Duke Jackson posted a video that said that Africans have been benefiting, and they have.
Do you know who Osei is? Do you know who Osei is? Do you know who Osei is? Do you know who Osei is?
You haven't given us.
Do you know who Osei is?
Want to come in,
man?
Let do anything in return for our generosity.
Let the lady speak.
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I've been listening in the background. As an African, I'm speaking for myself. In my entire life, up to my age, I have never met a single Black American, not to talk of dislike their ideology. And when I hear things, I'm like, who are people describing as Africans talking down about Black Americans? I've never been in America. Not everyone comes to America. Not all Africans live in America. Only a tiny portion of Africans make it to America. Not everyone from Africa want to leave African shore. Some people want to stay in Africa and die in Africa regardless of their economic situations. I've never in my life met an American, not to talk of beginning to dislike someone I don't know. Why should I dislike you? Why should I judge you? I don't know you. Apart from the first time I've come actually close to an American is on this platform. And I intentionally joined this platform because I wanted to know you guys. And then when I come here, I see people. It's the first time I'm seeing anything like theater is from this platform. I've never known anything about that. But in my country, I've heard about a kata. And a kata that I had is like when you see a white person come to Africa, we say Oyibo. And when we see, when people talk about Black American, I heard about Akata. And when they're saying Akata, they are showing Akata in the videos of your movies that we loved so much. We admired you people, and then you allowed yourselves to be brainwashed. I cannot fathom that. And you want to delineate FBA, I'm happy for you. You have that right. But why don't you just do it without hassling everyone? It's like you want to build a house, you go outside shouting, I want to build a house, I want to build a house, I want to build. And no one is stopping you. Build your FBA. Be successful. We'll be very happy for you. I will be very happy for you if you succeed. I do not want to see someone that looks like me suffering in America. Why would I benefit from your suffering, from your downfall? Why? But what you have to remember is that every individual can be selfish. People want to make it in life. And not everyone can sacrifice their lives for another. Do you? And Africans will do themselves, you know? For now, this topic that I'm seeing will never work. Will never, ever, 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 ever work with the things I'm seeing. We can never, ever, ever come together because we are so divided for no reason. For no reason, from very flimsy excuses that you can overlook. If you really want to be one, you can't be. You can't be. If you want to know about Africa, come to Africa. Forget about internet. It's full of propagandas. Touchland is like someone telling me that tree is bad, but actually that tree is good. I have to get to the bottom of that tree to find out what type of tree it is before I judge it. I can't judge an American. I've never met one in real life, apart from what I'm hearing here. And sometimes I come here, maybe in the chat to have fun, but I don't have a single atom of hatred for anyone that I don't know. For what? So if you want to deal in it, and if you don't want to, don't come to Africa to invest. Let Africa sort themselves out. How do if there's so much hatred, we have so many sellouts amongst us. We don't want second sellers. Someone to come with money to buy our people and then come and enslave us like the white people did. You know, because we look alike, then you come because you're angry with someone like myself that haven't offended you, and then you hand my head to the white man because you're angry with me. You've killed your own kind then, just like what you're accusing my forefathers of doing, which I never supported. And I'm not part of it. I'm not proud of that history. But how long are we going to continue to bicker at each other, jobless people like us? We are not smart. This is people with fish brains that do this. If we really want to do something, do you have to bicker and shout, do it. Don't come to Africa and invest. Don't be entitled because no one is a god. You cannot be my god. I can never be your god. Be yourself. I be myself. We will all survive one way or another. Africa is not going to perish without Black Americans. Black Americans, FBA will never perish without Africans. If you drive the whole of Africans from America, you will still survive. And so what? Africa will not perish. They may suffer, but they will never, ever perish. Remember
Right,
that.
right
Thank
on. 100%.
Great. Anyway, what
Okay,
I have
God
to
gives.
say, I have to say just one thing, yeah.
Yeah, after you is
Both
my
sides,
turn. God,
yeah.
please go
Look,
on.
both
Go on.
sides need to get versed in African history. Like Black Americans, FBAs need to really get into their books, and get versed on African history. Vice versa,
Mm,
Africans, migrants, they really need to get versed in education, in history, the history of Black America, and I think that will obviously open up a few things as well, because I think it's down to education, knowing each other, knowing what each other has gone through. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what's happening on the continent and knowing what's happening in the Americas. Because I keep saying to you, we are both victims. We're both victims, and we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to move forward because
It's the
what's going
victim
on in the world.
St.
Olympics. It's
James,
the victim
St. James,
Olympics.
let him
What's
land.
going on
St.
in the
James, let him
world?
land. Then
Look,
you come after me.
look. Let me tell you something. Black people are falling behind. You're there talking all this talk. We are in a wealth gap, financial institutions, and the corporate worlds and everything else. So we need to button up. Do you understand? Or the kids that are coming after us are gonna suffer. Do you understand? Yeah. So let's try and bridge that gap, at least bridge some type of gap and put something in
Okay.
place. That's what I have to
Okay.
say.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, look, we live. Okay. Instead of talking about America, me, you, uh, Olakidola, because he lived in the UK, and his sister, Hello, that spoke. We're all from the UK, right? Let's just have a little brief for history. Growing up in the UK with the Caribbeans, because of the transatlantic slavery, Caribbeans were really bitter about African migrants who moved over here. It was badly treated by them, and they had issue, and righteously so. And my I grew up with Caribbean. I know the culture very well, and today they're my best friends. I actually love them as brothers and sisters. We don't separate because we learn it the hard way, both of us. They actually um, used to we used to be marginalized mainly by the Caribbeans as African group than even the white people. But today, since what they call Brexit, the we are united than we've ever been. I live in a city where Africans used to fight Jamaicans, Jamaicans used to fight Somalis, Somalis used to fight, the Africans. So it's like it never ended until Brexit came and we realized who the common enemy is. And African Americans have a different experience and different history to Africans. And listen, there are a lot of sentiment there. I understand about the transatlantic slavery towards Africans, who obviously, where some of this is not our fault, it's our forefathers' fault, who engage in transatlantic slavery due to the dusty travel wars, which is actually dumb. And also, we have obviously the Europeans who were engaged in slavery. I live in a city that was heavily involved in it, so this were things that were happening back in the days. I can feel the smoke that we're getting for it. And I understand also, I'm not a narcissist. I try to put myself in their shoes to understand where they're coming from. But there is a way we could do this. There is a way around it. And as M was saying, Africans should give land. Look, our leaders in Africa, our modern day slave masters, these leaders don't care about us. The way you see the system is against you in America. That's how the system is against us in Africa. African leaders will collect tax. They will never invest money on that money on roads or hospitals. In fact, when they ill, they'll run away to the West and treat themselves and their kids over there. These are some of the people that will come down to America and talk down on you and pretend to be, top higher class black people, while the average African is actually dying in the US doing, the same laboring jobs. So we are both victim of different things, but obviously you cannot compare you know, um, basically you can't compare what African Americans been through. Absolutely, we need to understand it also, and it's basically we need to be progressive as group of people now. It's about time we become progressive. If we're not progressive, trust me, The time is coming. This identity politics is not just, a new thing. This is infiltrated. It's a pure infiltration within our group. And it's about time, we look deep in, we soul search, we look into our history. We must find some strength inside us to say, look, let's work together if we can. If we cannot work together, let's look in the same lens and see how we can find ourselves out of this mess that we actually end up in. Because at the moment we're in a deep mess.
Exactly.
And so I pass the mic to St. James. Thank you.
Listen, man. Based on what I understand from, we're grown ups, man. We're not kids. So you're not gonna force someone else to unite with you over nothing. If someone sees you and say he doesn't see you as a human being, or he doesn't wanna acknowledge you as someone, how would you force that person to be with you? How would you bridge the gap
No,
with
you're not
someone who
forcing
doesn't?
anybody.
Right.
You're not forcing
Hold
anybody.
on. You told me not to. Let me come on.
No
Oh
one's
yeah,
So
sorry.
forcing.
no, no,
It's
no,
that
no,
you're
no.
just trying to give someone a
Sir.
lens
Let me
if
finish.
they're
That's my turn. Let me
clouded.
finish. That's my turn.
Let him
Let me
finish. Let him
finish.
finish.
So I live in America. You don't live in America here. So I'm telling you, all this shenanigan that's going on is going on in YouTube and other social platforms. On the ground, African American, Black American, what have you, are doing business with Africans. No one is forcing nobody, you know. So we are having
That's
problems with
right.
the ones that comes on YouTube. Those are the ones that want to cause the divide. You understand? I know a lot of Black Americans that don't have no problem with Africans. They go to Africa, they want to interact with Africans. They don't have those issues. Don't conflate the ones that come on these channels talking about FBAs. These are
No,
different people.
FBAs do go to Africa.
These are different people who
Hey guys,
believe they need.
I gotta read these super chats. Juan
Go ahead.
Lion, thank you for the $5 Canadian dollars. M is simply a man child that likes to spew his ignorance and foolishness online. Shaking my head. Orusha Lynn Perkins, Pete Perkins, thank you for $2 holla. I'd rather eat a glass sandwich than move to Africa. FBA Young Lion, thank you for $4.99 holla. My fellow Africans on the panel, M does not represent the thoughts and opinions of Black Americans. He is speaking for himself. Hey, real quick, let me shout out to FBA Young Lion, you guys. Our moderator, him and Marshall hold it down in the chats, and the brothers always super chatting and breaking bread. FBA Young Lion, I appreciate you. I appreciate the support over the years.
Yes, sir.
Ever since you became a mod, I really appreciate you, FBA Young Lion, and people like yourself help keep the exchequer going, because we bootstrap a lot of what we do. So I appreciate you, FBA Young Lion. Kwame King, thank you for $1.99 holla. FBA Young Lion, thank you for the $1.99 holla. I agree with the sisters speaking 100. Ride Undungu, thank you for $4.99 holla. All right, go ahead.
All right, let me say this though. As far as St. James, also Africa. When y'all talk about how y'all was bullied and mistreated, and
I
y'all
was never bullied. I was never bullied.
I mean, not y'all, but I'm
Never.
saying like Africans when they came here, they was like called names.
Actually, when you see me, I will bully you. That's how I am.
I'm not talking about you particularly.
No, I wasn't personally being bullied, but
You said when the
bullying
Africans
each other.
came here, they suffered
Now you know what I'm.
mistreatment by Americans, and then Africans said they suffer mistreatment by Jamaicans and whatnot because of
That's in
allegedly
the
because
UK.
of slavery.
He's talking about the
But
UK. That's
I would say this.
Africa.
But I would say this. Do you think it's a equal comparison to when the black girls end up doing the civil rights movement, when they first integrated into white schools, they clothes was drenched in spit and they was called the N-word
No,
by
and
the
I said
entire
that.
school?
I said that
Is that
also,
equal to
right? I
being
said you
called
can't
a booty
compare.
scratcher?
Exactly what I said.
Or my
I said
mother was
you can't
born in
compare it.
Arkansas.
We need to put our shoes in there.
Listen. My mother was born in Arkansas. My father's born in Mississippi during Jim Crow, when you could look at a white man and get lynched, when Emmett Till got beat to death and pistol whipped for whistling at a white woman. Do you think that's equal to being called a booty scratcher by a kid in school? You think that's equal mistreatment? See, y'all don't even know this stuff that we have.
No, but I said all that.
Went through
That
more.
was the point I was making.
We went through more oppression.
We are following you, but you are following you, but no,
but y'all always
bullying,
because somebody calls you names. Like that's what we do.
I'm following you, but any bullying is wrong. Let's be honest about it.
Being called a name is not bullying in our culture. We just do that.
There was more to it than the bullying. There was more to it. We're not gonna relitigate it, but there was more to it than the bullying.
Our culture, we're comedians.
I get that.
We're scholars and comedians. But I would say,
have you heard when Africa told you, Africa told you when they got to the UK, right? Africa just told you what they suffered, right? But guess what he told you at the end? They got together. Now things are moving on. That's what he told you.
Being suffering. You didn't go through. My mother picked cotton actually.
Damn, bro! You trying to rank the.
You see what I'm saying? You haven't suffered anything. Y'all think being called a name like a joke.
So Africans didn't pick cotton. Africans didn't pick cotton.
Do you know? I'm talking about. I'm just saying in general. Do you know Malcolm X's father was killed when the Ku Klux Klan put his head, tied him to a train, and decapitated him?
Do you know what the King Leopold has done to the Congo people? God damn, bro! People didn't do shit, bro.
He didn't do that to you. You didn't have
what are you saying?
You said you came here and we called you to suffer. Did we tell you?
Did I say that?
Yeah, there's
you said we called you to suffer because you got caught up.
Let's move forward. There is victims on both sides.
Listen, did somebody put a cross in front of your house and burn your churches down?
Do you know what the Caucasians been doing on the continent? Do you even have a clue?
Y'all don't know what we've been through. Just like y'all don't understand what the South Africans been through. Do you know what they've been through on the continent? That's why I said you need education. I know
you
what
need
the South
to get
Africans
into the history.
Doing apartheid is very similar to what we've been through.
Get yourself versed.
But we've been through worse than what the South Africans been through.
You've been through worse than what the South Africans have been through.
The problem, right?
Wake up, bro.
I come from West Africa, right? If you want, right? I'm gonna show you. We can show you a video, right? Of a white journalist, right? That just came across some video, some pictures of West Africans, their head being chopped. They hid that from the French people over there. Part of our history is not even shown to the world. The suffering of Africans on the continent. Some of these pictures you haven't even seen it to even understand what they've been through. So let's not do the victim Olympics here, please.
Listen, I'm not talking about.
Get yourself versed, man. Get yourself versed on African history.
Black Americans cause you to suffer.
Vice versa. Get yourself
No. That wasn't me, bro. That wasn't me.
I think the sister wanted to.
You guys need to get yourself versed, man.
The sister wanted to get all the businesses and jobs and all the education.
Okay.
What if we haven't
you
done
ain't only
anything
victim, man.
to cause you to suffer?
Maybe we were talking about a conversation that happened yesterday or the day before. That's not.
Africa claiming that when he came to Britain, the Caribbeans caused him to suffer. Please.
So you see, the problem. Let me tell you something, maybe what something that you're missing, right? If someone comes to you and tells you, someone comes to you, right, and tells you he suffered from a situation, you shouldn't be laughing. You shouldn't be telling, hey man, this is nothing. That's how. No. You should listen to their story. Listen to their story.
Integrated in white schools that you benefit from.
You're not trying to listen.
You're not trying to listen. It happened in most African countries, man.
You're not trying to listen.
Wake up. You suffer to get to the schools you love to brag about. What did you go through?
You're not trying to listen.
Get yourself versed. Get yourself versed, man. We ain't here to play victim. We're not here to play victim. Tell me what you suffered in America.
Tell me,
guys. Let the sister talk.
Tell me what you suffered.
Do you know how many African presidents have been killed in the country?
Let me respond to M. If I suffered in America, right, I will be proud to have suffered in America. You know, at the end, I succeeded. I have succeeded.
So, please.
You've been through nothing. Some of you got caught a booty scratcher in school.
I was never called a booty scratch. I came right before, after, people were calling each other booty, whatever. I didn't suffer from that.
And James,
What did you
please,
suffer though?
no,
What did
leave
Africans
it, leave
suffer
it.
here? Nothing. You benefiting off our suffering,
Oh
but
yeah,
y'all don't
that's
want to
fine.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
Sister, you're
go
gonna
on up,
say
man.
something.
Stop playing victim, man. You're just playing
I ain't
victim.
playing
You
victim anything.
understand?
Y'all the ones
Yeah,
claiming
you are
victim
playing.
because
You're
Africa
looking for
we married a
handouts.
Britain and
Every
we
time you come
suffered
out
from the
here, you're looking
conditions.
for handouts. You get me,
And we
man? We
came to
understand
America
your
and we
cause.
suffered from the black Americans. Y'all the ones claiming to be
Yo,
victims, but y'all
you
haven't
ain't
suffered
even
anything here.
you ain't
We
suffered
done laid a
nothing. It was
table
your
for you guys.
ancestors. It
What
was
I'm
your
trying.
ancestors that
I
suffered,
just
man.
give
You
the
ain't
man an
suffered
You
nothing,
ain't
example.
man.
suffered
And
nothing
what
I
I
here.
was
just give
trying
him
to
an
say is
example,
right.
and he's
If you
abusing it. So it's fine.
Ancestors that suffered, man. That ain't you.
if you
What you
downplay
chatting about?
somebody's suffering, right? You know what's
You
going to
suffer
happen to you
nothing. It's not suffering.
when you tell your suffering, somebody's going to just go ahead and downplay it. That's what's going to
Tell it
happen.
to me.
I'm trying to tell
Tell
you.
me after
That's
butters
your
and food scratching.
predecessors that
What did
Guys,
you
suffered,
you're
man.
suffer under
That's
talking
the
not
over the
thought of
you,
ladies.
M.
Jesus?
You're
What
talking
you
over the
No,
talking
ladies. It's
about?
not looking
No,
good. You're talking over the ladies. They want to
no.
speak.
Let's
It's
okay.
not looking good. Thank
Sure.
you.
Could I ask? I have a question. My last question for
Go ahead.
Dinah.
Please.
This is for Dinah.
Go
Is
ahead.
that okay? Can you answer the question that you posed?
James, James. I had to mute you. It's like you're eating corn nuts. Uh, I don't know. Hebrews, Moors, Indians, FBA.
That
I
wasn't
muted you for
me.
a meet. There you go. All right. Hebrews, Moors, Indians, FBA, Africans, Caribbeans. Can we build with and love one another? Absolutely, we can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely,
And I give an
100% we
example.
can.
And I give an example of it earlier. How we had dramas like this in the past, and how we managed to come together
Let me
and
read
start
this. Let me
doing
read this.
something.
Let me read this super
Okay.
chat. FBA Young Line. I've read all the super chats except for this new one. John Zola, thank you for 999 holla. Judging by these low level convos, I can infer many are carrying trauma. Those serious about building economic cultural ties between Africa and the diaspora are busy creating solutions to fuel division. Okay. Thank you for the super
Thank you,
chat, my brother.
Jazola. Yeah. No. So I mean, this is it. It's all about. I mean, that super chat says it all. But thank you very much, guys. For letting me on. Great. Some of the conversation has been great. And I join the guys again tomorrow. Love, peace, and love to every one of you, including you, M. I got no problem with you, my brother. I always got love to hear your struggle, bro.
Wait until
All
the
right, peace.
I'm
season is
gonna
going to
drop
bully
out
you.
as well, man.
Until the
Look,
season is going to bully you.
look. All I have to say is we both
Okay.
need to get we need to get versed on each other's history. You know what I'm saying? We're both there's both victims on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and yeah, we need to make steps to move forward. We can't always, be on these platforms going around in circles. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like things need to happen. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you have if you're not sure about certain things, reach out. Reach out, travel around and see for yourself. Travel on a continent. If you want to go and work, you want to work with Caribbeans, travel in the Caribbean. But what I have to say for FBAs, if FBAs want to get powerful, they want to get their manufacturing, prowess up again, then they're gonna need to work with other people. I'll rather work with other black people than work with white people. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Because that will give me like certain financial and economic freedom outside of other ethnic groups. I'd rather have somewhere where I can go and I can I can have that type of freedom to make my own, like make my own rules and make my own judgments, and make my own make my own financial decisions. So yeah, that's all I have to say. But thank you very much, Dinus, and until next time.
I think Black Americans shouldn't focus on building manufacturing until we have our own independent, autonomous land, because history's shown they'll come and destroy it, take it from us, use tax laws, eminent domain. It's like, what's the point of us always rebuilding and always having to start from zero? And I studied a little bit. Yeah, I studied a lot. I would say about the Phoenicians and the Carthaginians, how they set up city states all over the world, similar to the Vatican, like autonomous states, small little regions that they controlled, but it was like dispersed all over the earth. I could see us doing something like that, like having some autonomous regions and pockets of land. I would even say, why can't Haiti offer us a piece of Haiti or Jamaica separate from these white people that has they don't have our best interests at heart, especially Africa with all that land. They could give us a plot of autonomous land that we could control and protect and have a military presence. Because in America, like every time we build something, they just come and gentrify and take it. And it's saying we have no allies, like nobody in the world cares. And then we start saying we're going to boycott, African braiding or the Asians, and everybody saying what's wrong with you, but they don't really see our side of it. Like we've been exploited without reciprocity or without representation. It's not an equal exchange. We just spending money and just allowing people to just flourish, but nobody's offering us that same privilege or accommodation. So that's my response to the guy that just said, get back to manufacturing and all that. Like, wow, what's the point when they just going to blow it up and tear it down and we're going to lose everything, or they auction it to somebody from another country after we done did all of this groundwork. And I think this conversation should be about, true partnership, global partnership. And it should be like I read in the Bible, God wants you to praise him uh truthfully, without duress, without being forced to. It should be your free will to praise God. I'm not saying we're God, but your ability or your intention to work with us shouldn't be forced, or it shouldn't be some type of underhanded motivation. It should just be genuine, altruistic. If it's not that, I don't think any relationship will ever work if it's not truth, if it's not built on truth, or it's not equal on both sides. If both parties don't benefit equally, I don't think anything will ever stand from that perspective.
Can I also make a point?
Oh yeah.
The point that I would like to make is the first thing us as foundational Black Americans need to do is to unify with ourselves. We are not unified. Now, we are heading in that direction, and the term for our lineage and that thought patterns that go with it as foundational Black Americans are aiding in that process. And it is true, it may be some people online that may be spewing rhetoric counterproductive to our ultimate goals. But most foundational Black American people, once they find that term to describe themselves, are not going to be thinking about other people and hating other people with things of that matter. It is unfair to paint all of us with the same brush, because most Black people in America, when they learn the accurate way to describe, a more accurate way to describe ourselves, moving forward is a foundational Black American, we're going to be focusing on us. And I would suggest that Africans unite with Africans also. And once they unite with themselves and we unite with ourselves, then and only then can we truly come together to make progress together.
Yeah, I agree. We should first unite with the so-called, I think, the Black woman, and start having more nuclear families as far as marriage, instead of just open-ended relationships and baby mamas and whatnot. We should go back to the structure of a community, which is founded and strengthened by nuclear families, and we should start. I would say church or religious apparatus. Like we kind of abandoned our religions that kind of led us from oppression. Like the black preacher was a powerful institution, and I think most of us kind of strayed from that. Even the nation, they used to have the ministers preaching I guess you got the Israelites. They do the aspect with the priesthood, but the priesthood is very important. And I was saying, as far as mutual benefits, if we able to work with Africa, it shouldn't just be one way street. You know.
All right, guys. Let me pass the mic. We got some new callers. Patrick Young, go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to say hello to the chat. Thanks, Dynast, for allowing me to come up.
No problem.
I just want to say that first of all, I want to speak specifically to my African brothers and sisters. That what you hear about FBA, that's a small segment of Black America. You're talking about the Black American population is anywhere between 45 to 55 million officially, and they're probably, knowing us, there are probably another 5, 10, 15 million people who don't want anything to with the government or the census or anything of that nature. We don't like the government in our business like that. But I am the descendant. I have a Gullah Geechee background. My people are from Georgia and South Carolina. My family.
Hey, I got to. Since you said that, I got to plug the Sierra Leone trip. You got to come to Sierra Leone with me in November.
I'm gonna try. But we, my family came from started here in this country in Savannah, Georgia, in 1732, from West Africa. They came. They were part of a group of West Africans that came from the Rice Coast.
Sierra Leone.
And yeah, and so we know who we are. We have connections. We made connections with West Africa, West Africans, also people on the islands of Barbados and the Bahamas. And so we know who we are. We don't have any. There's no trying to be Indian or anything of that nature. We know who we are, and so because of that, if you would, we eat jollof. It's called Gullah red rice. You can get it in Savannah, Georgia. You can get it in Beaufort, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. Maybe these are the places that the Africans need to come to, where they will be more than welcomed.
I was there, my brother. I lived there for 4 years. Beautiful city. I miss it.
Yeah.
Savannah.
Yeah. And so our ancestors were brought here specifically to plant, grow, and harvest indigo, as well as a West African strain of rice, which once brought to this country was called Carolina Gold. You can still purchase that online and in certain grocery stores, that particular strain. So we have a history. We eat red rice. We eat okra soup. All the other, there's just so many things. Peanuts, which goobers, which come from West Africa. There's just so many things that's a part of our everyday lives, and we're not ashamed to be African. And you might find somebody from South Carolina, somebody from Georgia, but I don't think you'll find anybody Gullah Geechee that is with the with all of this other stuff. We know who we are, and we're West African descended, and we're proud.
Are you saying Black Americans don't know who we are?
I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that a lot of these people who are FBA, I don't think you can speak for 55 million people. I don't think anybody has given people the permission to speak for 55 million people. That word is not, whatever they say, FBA says, or whoever, that's not law. That's not the word for everybody else. And I just wanted my West African brothers and sisters, my kinspeople, to know that there's love for them here, despite what you may have heard by a few people online. There's love for you here, man.
My brother.
Love?
I don't know how to say this, but I'm happy that you're here. The city of Savannah welcomed a lot of Africans in the early 2000s. You guys did show us a lot of love in Savannah. We loved it. I was happy. I made my best friends, great families, Black American family. I don't know if you know there was a church in Savannah. I forgot the name, but the
The
guy,
First African Baptist Church, the
I
oldest
think
church
so.
in the United States, the oldest black church in the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a
Hmm.
lot of love, man. You guys reach out to Africans, and we came over. We had a lot of fun in Savannah, Georgia. I can never forget about it. I used to work on River Street, and you know River Street, right? That tells the whole history about Africans
Yeah.
coming to America. So I've
Yeah.
been through the places. I've seen the struggle. So there's nothing but love, man. I would go
Yeah.
back. I will visit Savannah again. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have,
Yeah.
Brother, I'm
have,
happy to brother, I'm happy to hear from you, man. I've been watching YouTube about your people, the Geechee people.
Hmm.
I saw the first time that another brother making jollof rice. That and the way you make your meat by steaming
Yeah.
it on the ground and covering up with wood, man. That's the way we do it. Also,
Yeah.
I saw you
Yeah.
making your soup, your
The
okra
whole
soup,
hog. Yeah. Yeah. The whole hog
the whole
in the ground. Yeah.
yeah. You
Hey,
have
Kid
a very
Dola,
big respect. You put
Kid
very big
Dola.
respect for your head. Hold on, you put very big respect for your elders, and it was very beautiful for me to see. May
Hmm.
God bless you, brother. Man,
Let me
no
Yeah.
bad feeling, man. I love you, man. God
let me
bless.
ask you a question, Mr. Kid Dola, if I could. Are you saying that the Gullah Geechee has done more for the African people than the Black Americans?
It's not about the question. It's
Hold
about the
on,
people
hold on,
that
hold on, hold on. Let
hold
me
on. It's
interject.
about the okay.
Well,
Thank you,
Kidola,
brother.
hold on. You do realize Gula, they are Black Americans. What do you mean?
I mean, the guy just said he just distinguished himself, saying we know who we are, our African
Yeah,
and
but
West
Gula
African
Geechee
brothers.
are Black Americans. In fact, Gula Geechee are probably some of the most blackest Black
Like I
Americans.
know some Gullah Geechee people that don't even say they from Africa, but it's just I guess it's a matter of opinion. Like Shannon Sharp, I listen to him. His brother Sterling claims he's a Cherokee. You heard him say that,
Most Gullah Geechee
I,
people
ne-
and
I
they
say
never
grew up
heard him
in
say that,
Savannah.
but I'm just saying Gula Geechee are Black Americans. Go ahead, Kidola.
Oh, I know that.
This guy. You see, bro, when you see people, I've met a lot of Golagichi in Germany. Some of them they're in the military. They will tell you straight from
Yeah.
Africa. You know,
Yeah.
I met there, and that was the first time somebody told me it's from the Geechee. Like, is that deep? What? I thought it says yeah, I'm Black American, but from the Geechee family. And I know what those guys did for me when it was slowly at that time.
Hmm.
They took me. My car couldn't move. They took me in their car because they come with a very big truck.
Yeah.
They took me in their car. I went to their home. See the next day. We were having a good time. Then I started watching YouTube about the Gucci people. They did the same thing. They worship. They respect the dead and the one alive. They treat them the same, just like what the West African people are doing also. You
Hmm.
know, and their food, the way they behave, they're there from their elders. From top to the bottom, respect, food stuff, the same. May I appreciate them a lot. Their hard work, what they did in that territory, able to live their life, grow their whatever they do. I have big respect for them. Brother, I love
Yeah.
you, bro. One love, brother. One love, man. One
You see
love.
the reason I'm bringing this up is you see how much praise and appreciation he has for the Geechee. Why don't you have that same type of appreciation and praise for the Black American people? Even though you just said they're the same people,
when
but
the
obviously,
FBA say that they're from India, they're Indians. I mean, you
we all
divide
was
the
Pan
country.
Africans in the 1980s. Like nobody
No,
was
we all
FBA.
wasn't Pan Africans. No,
Who
no,
was
no.
FBA in the 80s? Tell me.
Right.
Who
That's
called
what I'm
themselves
saying.
FBA in the
Why you
80s?
call well? If use that same logic and ask yourself, why are some people calling themselves FBAs now and trying to label
I
all
mean,
Africans?
you obviously know the reason for that. But I'm saying, like, even when I
Because you're
listen to
told.
O'Shea,
Because
like that
FBAs.
video was so profound. When he put the history as far as when the Africans started to finance their students and they first went to the Ivy League colleges and then the black colleges accepted them and Dr. King and organizations actually put up raise the money for the African students. You don't think that deserves some type of praise and appreciation?
I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go next, though. It's my turn to speak, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Pan African Power. I would like to say FBA is a cult. It's an online cult. I'm pretty much echo the sentiments of my Gullah Geechee brother. It started in like 6 years ago. Most African Americans don't even know the term FBA. I mean, I think the FBA number is probably like a 2,500 people altogether in real life. They hang on YouTube and they espouse pretty much xenophobic things. I heard a lot of the continental Africans were talking about Tariq videos and the thumbnails that Tariq places on those videos. Now, most African Americans would despise those thumbnails, right? Because they show black depictions, that pretty much resemble racist white depictions of black people. Back in the 15s, back in 1960s, when they used to have those racist cartoons displaying black people in negative ways. That's the same thing Tariq is doing now. Tariq, he's black as skin, but his mind is that of a racist Caucasian, and there's a lot of followers of him, and because they look at that blindly and still want to follow them, I know that FBA is a cult, and it will continue to be a cult. And I'm just asking for my brothers and sisters, my African American brothers and sisters, and the other brothers in the diaspora to look at FBA as a cult, and it doesn't represent real African Americans. Thank you.
Can I dispute what he just said, please? As a foundational Black American, can I please dispute that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, foundational Black Americans is a descriptor for the lineage of the people who were here since the foundation of this country, since the first named foundation. That's a descriptor of the people who laid the foundation for this country, the one who cleared the brushes, the one who did all the hard work to make this place a place where other people from other countries can come to. We are also the people who never got paid for all that hard work from the beginning of this country. Even before it was a country, we were here working. But since the inception in 1776, we were here laying the foundation for this country. Therefore, the name foundational Black American is what we are going to use for descriptive. There are 50 million of us. All 50 million don't know or describe themselves as foundational Black Americans, but they fit the description. They are the same people who we are talking about when we say foundational Black Americans. I don't know who you be listening to on YouTube, but a whole lot of people don't even watch YouTube who are foundational Black Americans. That term, African American, will be replaced with the term foundational Black American because it is an accurate way to describe us. African American can be anyone from any race who comes from Africa and comes to America, becomes a citizen. That person, be they Chinese, Greek, orange, blue, whatever, but they can be considered an African American. So it is an inadequate way to describe the lineage of the people who were here since the foundation of this country. No code, a lineage of people. Like it or not, that's what it is.
Can I respond to that? Yeah. So the whole thing about
and then after you is Rokoya's term. Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole thing about the foundational Black American is that the leader, Tariq Nasheed, who coined the term foundational Black American, what he defined it as.
There's no leader. He may have coined the term. There's no leader. Don't lie.
Can I speak? I didn't interrupt you, did I? I did not interrupt you. Okay. And there was many.
Yeah, I didn't lie either. I didn't lie either.
Yeah, you did, but can I talk, sir? Can I talk? Can I finish? Right. So Tariq Nasheed coined the term. Then he came out with a website and described the lineage of quote-unquote foundational Black Americans. He basically says we're third Abo and we're third Indian. Now, most African Americans don't agree with that,
Most African Americans, by and largely, right, are like 90% African, by and large, right? So he wants to make us half Indian, half Abo, and a third African, which is false. So from the beginning, you have something that's been planted, but the root is tampered with. Is pretty much poison at the root. So that FBA tree won't grow. It will right now, as it speaks, when you fill out an application, I don't see no FBA on the application. Okay? Tariq has done. I have it. Let's talk about leaders. Leaders, have any leaders used the term FBA? I don't even see Minister Louis Farrakhan using the term FBA. And we want to say Minister Louis Farrakhan was mainstream. No. So you have mainstream black people, right, that are not using the term politically. At least Democratic or the Republican Party, they're not using the term. It'll never be passed, right? And most African Americans pretty much don't like the term. So no, we are not foundational Black Americans. Tariq doesn't have the right to name me. He can name you and maybe your children, but he doesn't have the right to name me and my children. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, can I respond? Okay, Tariq Nasheed is not the leader.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn. It's Rokoya. I said Rokoya was next.
All right, guys. Can you guys hear me right today?
Yeah, but are you wrestling with your phone? Like I hear like you.
Oh, sorry, I messed up. I'm moving around a bit.
Okay.
All right, guys. First of all, I think that I want to acknowledge the panel. There's been some interesting revelations. And the only thing I can say to the question of the moment is, why not? Why can't we build with love? And I mean, why should we resort to a confrontational relationship because we are delineating ourselves? I think the whole thing is built on the premise of, if I'm going to be very crude, what is pushing this delineation, besides what all the beautiful language that has been used here about we been here before and all that stuff, is really this concept that money is coming from the establishment, the white establishment, and people are trying to say we're the only ones who need to get this money. And I think that's the core, a certain level of, I'm sorry to say, greed, because no group has come after the so-called foundational Black American openly and said, we fight you on that. Some individuals may make comments, but as a group, both in the Caribbean and in Africa, people support your desire and your need to stand up for reparations. And I have never seen an African group and say, oh, here we are, we're going to come for the one that you have. Now, if you look at what Ghana is doing, Ghana is strategically making this an international conversation. Ghanaians have never asked, or the presidency of Ghana has never asked to share with your reparation movement. But in fact, if you try to take time to study what's going on, is they're building from a political position so that there is enough meat behind the push. But again, because some of us are so blinded by greed, blinded by emotional outbursts, blinded by jokers and comedians who come on YouTube to make funny jokes and talk about this, call African names, create a lot of flare up in emotions. We're not being strategic. And I weep for my so-called African American, FBA, Indian, whatever. Because if you are in certain spaces, if you understand what's going on, y'all be ready trying to say, hey, let me get that partnership, let me get that association, let me get. Nobody can stand and say your experience cannot be evaluated as a worthy sacrifice of what your forefathers did. But none of your forefathers who came on and who were the actual slaves ever said we're no longer Africans. In fact, when you read history all the way up to the 1800s, if they narrated, they told about their experience, what happened to them, how they got stolen, how they were designed. And there's on the other side, there's the same stories. There are African families who have recordings of people who disappeared. Now we've all been played a game, and everybody thinks their pain is worse than the other. But I swear to you, pain is pain. A headache feels the same wherever. So sometimes I get very frustrated because when I listen to us, and I have to say that YouTube is not a very good barometer to really measure what's going on mainstream. But even those of us who are passionate enough to come on here to talk about it, it's like we're all just being emotional. We're just reacting. Can we for a moment take a breath and say, look, yes, you're FBA. Fine. Consider it another tribe of the Africans, because even in Africa, we have tribes that are amalgamations of different tribes. And we Africans on the continent understand what ethnicity is. We understand how we relate to our tribes, and we don't fight over it. I mean, there might be some sibling things going between Ghana and Nigeria or Igbo and stuff, but we're not up in arms against each other. We've been on the continent for centuries, and we've lived with different ethnicities, different groups. So there is a platform, there is a basis in which the African on the continent understands that these people over here may be from us, but they're different. But you guys have made it confrontational. You guys have made it about joking, about putting people down. And because of that, there isn't that nobody's hearing what's going on. So I come here to only say, in response to this question, why not? Because I see it every single day. Every single day, I have Africans and African Americans who have businesses. They're making, building contracts with the U.S. federal government, setting up companies, taking down big contracts. Africans bringing resources. I see it every day, but you guys don't want to because somewhere in there you just don't want to accept it. And I land my ship there. Thank you so much for listening.
I will say this as far as Tariq Nasheed, based on my psycho analysis, he's first. He's for the first thing he is. Number one, he's a comedian. It's all about the giggles, the jokes. He's a very articulate, intelligent. He's very skilled in many aspects. But he'll down the hill for a joke. He told me he put these caricature pictures out. That's obviously for the fun, the jokes, the laughs. That's number one. Number two, I think as far as this conversation, Black Americans should create a council, and that council should consist of all the different perspectives, the Pan-Africans, the Nation of Islam, the Christians. They should have their own representatives, and we should really leverage our expertise. The government will never give us reparations or any consideration unless they have they're threatened to lose something, and we should give them an ultimatum: either you drop this money and respect our boundaries, or allocate this land like the nation said we should have several states, or we finna leave. They don't want us to leave because if we leave, that's trillions of dollars of wealth. That's like so much intellectual property, so much value that's just going to walk out the door. They never finna let that
Where we
happen.
going?
But that's the big question, because nobody in the world don't want to give us any land, so we have to go somewhere. But I think the threat of us
Man, y'all ain't going nowhere. Stop it.
You too.
Donna, let me ask
But I'm
him the
saying
question and I'll be
the
quiet.
threat of us leaving will cause them to probably
Y'all ain't
bow
going
down.
nowhere. Y'all, you guys are.
Why should
you
we
guys,
go anywhere?
say James, I'm talking. Say James, I'm talking. You guys are now you guys are now even tripling down, claiming to be Aboriginal. We the Indians. We was here before the slave ships came. Where the slave ships? You guys are tripling down.
What I'm saying is,
y'all ain't going nowhere.
What I'm saying is, we need a
can I respond to that?
represents all of those different ideas, even Pan-Africanists, and we should come together and discuss our future moves. And that move should be either ultimatum: either we go, or you give us this reparations and give us half of the country.
Y'all ain't going nowhere. You ain't
We
getting
got
half of the country.
Okay,
why can't
here's what
we
we
go
are
to
doing.
Africa? Why can't we go to Africa?
Here's what, because there's nobody offering us any place in Africa.
We gotta
Here's what we are doing.
get it.
We are
get the land.
indigenous. We are from this soil. Our foreparents' blood has been spilled to make this country what it is today. We are not going to turn our backs on their suffering. We're going to be doing our best
to make this a better place for our children, because this is where we are. This is where we are from, and this is where we're from. And as far as Tariq Nasheed is concerned, I think our ancestors blessed him with a term, the term foundational Black American, which he got from Dr. Claude Anderson. He tweaked it, but foundational Black American is a far better way to describe the people whose lineage was here since the inception of this country. Other parts of his character, y'all can say what you want to say, whatever, but he's a great man because he gave us a descriptive that is going to move forward, a descriptive that more Black people will adapt and should adapt because it's lineage based, and that is what's going to enable us to get reparation what is owed. Reparations has been paid to other people. Lineage based reparation has been paid to other people, everybody else but us, the ones who deserve it the most. And we are not delineating from our Blackness globally, but we are making the distinction for the people who deserve reparation in this country that we built from scratch. I love Black people. I love Africa all my life. I've been taught African history. I have no reason to hate on any person, especially another Black person. Now, other Africans might not feel that way about me. That's on them. But I love Black people, and I have nothing but respect and honor for Africans, even though my lineage is here in America. Here in America, my family has been here for thousands. My lineage has been here for thousands and thousands of years. This is me talking now. Now, give me 30 more seconds, and you can ask me any questions you want.
Well, hold on, but one second.
If you don't mind,
I'm the host.
If you don't mind, I mean, your point is better than mine, right?
Why are you arguing?
I understand.
Okay, chill out. So
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you with a host. My bad.
But this is my point. FBA is turning into an elbow movement. This is the point.
I disagree.
But go ahead.
I disagree.
It is.
It ain't.
But go ahead. You say you've been here thousands of years. You guys, it's turning into an elbow movement.
I believe that in this hemisphere, there were Black people already here. We have the Olmec heads as the ultimate proof that there were Black people in this hemisphere with civilizations that were advanced. How can I say they're advanced? Because there's no place else in this hemisphere where you can find anything as monumental or as intricate as those Olmec heads, which are representatives of Black people in this hemisphere.
I would say this though. Are you saying we should just wait them out, just wait for them to die out and just inherit the land, like in the Bible they say the meek shall inherit the earth?
Oh, now y'all Hebrews, now y'all the elbow.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, are we just gonna wait them out?
Here it is. A more realistic approach that foundational Black Americans are using is our voting power. We said, listen, we woke up and seen that for 60 years we were voting for one party that gave us nothing, has not moved the needle in our direction in any way whatsoever. We've noticed that this same party that we were voting for have gave people who just came over to this country everything that we've been asking for and some. And so when we see this and we see our conditions and we see people who are getting thousands and thousands of dollars every month, that money that we feel should be going to us or should have at least been done went to us, but all of a sudden the floodgates are open financially for other people who did not contribute to this country. Definitely did not contribute to the way that foundational Black Americans have. We said, hold up, wait a minute now. This is not going to keep happening. Not with my tax dollars that I got to pay for, let alone that you ain't give me the reparations that my foreparents deserved. that my lineage of people been denied the generational wealth that we would have? No, no, no. So we make delineation saying, okay, we are the people. These particular black people were the seed that helped spring forth this country. Other people, we love you in the whole smash, but you wasn't here. Your family didn't suffer here. They may have suffered someplace else, but your family didn't suffer here. Your family didn't lay the foundation for this country. And so until we get that part straight, so we know when the reparations do come, we know exactly the people who it should go to. Not anybody who just came here yesterday or anybody whose lineage is not responsible for the wealth of this country.
Hey, picture this. That strategy might actually be effective.
Well, guys, let me read the super chat real quick.
Go
FBA
ahead.
Young Lion, thank you for 499. Holla. Never once have I heard anyone talking about economic or geopolitical strategies. It's always been about emotionalism on both sides.
Yeah, it pains my heart when I hear sometime that what is going on YouTube. I've been surrounded by great Black American people. My half brothers are Black Americans. Their mom is they're originally from Georgia. I just called. Now I know the mother is from Gucci family, from the Gucci side. That was my father's second wife. My uncle, the junior brother, my father married to a very beautiful Black American woman who was one time manager of Wells Fargo, well-educated woman. But both sides of my women that came to my family, the other was a teacher in Nigeria before she died for years. She gave my father 3 beautiful children. You know, the woman from Texas, my auntie, gave my uncle 4 beautiful children. Well-behaved, well-spoken people. You know, you don't want to be manager of Wells Fargo? Way back. Early 90s, brother. You know, I'm not for the opinion said the Black Americans are not well studied. These are women who studied at 70s already with degrees. You know, I think for those that are coming to represent Black Americans in this platform, some of them are disgrace. You know, it was a Black American woman who introduced me to peanut butter. My father's second wife, she lived with us and became a teacher in secondary school, head of a school in Edo State. There was called Beda State at that time. You know, when I see this hatred coming from, I'm like, what is this? I'm from a middle-class family in Nigeria. Some of these women make us very rich, contribute massively wealth in my family. Both my father and my uncle and us and my mother would benefit a lot from them. But why this hatred? Why? Why we fighting ourselves? Even we were able to know ourselves. You know, bro, we can fight on this YouTube to be like something else, man. But you people are not representing those that are in my father's family and my uncle's family, which make us my family. Not. So don't come here, start misrepresenting the powerful Black Americans that fought hard, well-educated, thinkers. Think Martin Luther King was like this? I don't have no hatred. Sometimes I just fight back by trolling sometimes. But deep love is in my heart with them because you people, I have you in my family. Even my brother married to Jamaica, my half-brother, my half-sister married to Black America. The other one married to a Jamaican. You know? My sister lives in California. Black Americans are his friends, in business and everything. You know? So why all this back and forward fight? There's a lot of Black Americans building big hotels in Ghana. Go and check it. In Ghana, building mighty hotels. Some of them have real estate, making money. You know, I thought if you want to know much about Africa, it's closer to you. They just enter the Gucci people there. You can see how Africa look like. At least the closest to Africa, the food, the everything. Please, I'm just getting tired slowly of fighting this fight that actually is fake. It's just very, very fake. We love Black Americans. I play their music. Curtis Misfield, Ray Charles, Ted Perigal, the Commandos, all kind of Black American music. These people are very powerful people. I will never put their effort and their power to resist and fight to their death for what they believe on. May Almighty God bless them. And may Almighty God bless this brother that come from the kitchen that just come here to represent this place. These are the people that I'm seen as Black America. The man from the Geechee family side. Please, let's just respect ourselves and respect the people that fought hard to unite us together. A lot of them contributed to the soul train music in Nigeria, in my state, Benin State. Black America, FM, the first one that came to Anambra State, in Lagos, Black Americans. When this guy came to Benin, may so rest in peace, the guy that does, James Brown, we all run to come and see him in Oba Palace. Just to check pick of him. That is James Brown, that is James Brown. African people don't hate you, poor brother. You people might have misunderstood with some few Africans in America, but it can also be settled. We have to think strategically. We don't want nobody to dominate people. Not the Latinos, not the Indians, nobody. We want to see people striving, become the most popular one. So once you people are there, we know things are safe. Thank you, brother. May Almighty God bless you. Bye-bye.
Let me say something real quick.
All right, go ahead, Shaw.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my mic is, the way I'm coming in these days at this little setup, it only works for so long and then it starts to falter. So anyway, I'll speak as long as it'll let me. It's my turn. Greetings, everyone, and I've been listening for quite a while now, and I want to say that recently discovered Dr. Joy DeGruy, a Black psychologist. She's explaining the behavior of denial of your African ancestry as post-traumatic slavery syndrome, and it's an explanation. She's a psychologist. That's her area. She studies Black people. She studies our people. And so, I mean, maybe with that, we can have a little bit of understanding about why it's a behavioral thing for survival. I mean, that's how she's explaining it. So this is why we don't want to accept our African ancestry. No one's saying you are African or from Africa, but to deny that you have African ancestry is just doesn't make sense. Anyway, I think it's a productive conversation, and I think that yeah, we can come together. We can, but I mean, this is part of the coming together is understanding history, understanding ourselves, understanding history, but we don't have a lot of time to do it. We don't have time for Africa to unite first and African Americans to unite, and then no, we're out of time, and we've got to work quickly, and we can do it. I'll land right there.
Hey, Shaw, did you not hear the Geechee guy and what's his name, Kidola? They both differentiated the Geechee from the Black Americans.
Unbelievable.
You didn't hear that?
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. Geechee is Black America, or Geechee Black American.
The guy said he know who he is. He said he's from South Africa. I
He's
mean,
from
not
Africa.
West Africa. And then the Kidola say, "Oh, if you want to see a real African," he just said this. Go to the Geechee if you want to see a real African. You didn't hear him say that?
The Gullah people are African Americans that know their ancestry, not only know that they're from Africa, know specifically where they are from Africa.
But why would he separate himself from us if we're the same people?
You've been telling him all day that you're Indian.
I didn't say anything about being an Indian.
Well,
let me respond to what Kidola said, and also the guy that just spoke. As far as the population and waiting the white people out, I think that's actually happened. I think America is up for grabs. You can look this up. It's called the birth to death ratio. The Black American population is actually doubling. In order for you to actually maintain your population, you got to actually have 2 children to just replace yourself. But the average Black family has 4 children, so we're doubling. But the white family, the ratio was less than 1. So it's a mathematical certainty they will be extinct soon. So I think what's happening is they're bringing in white immigrants, Mexican immigrants, just to slow down us inheriting the land. And the guy Cadola just said, you know, his brother, father, just reproduced with affluent black women he said profoundly enriched their family in Nigeria. So I'm looking like, we done fought the Civil War to get black women free, and then the civil rights movement for them, even though this is just my commentary, for them to turn around and give all of our progress to, I'm gonna call them foreigners. I know y'all ain't gonna like that, but and the black man who did all the work gets to getting the short end of the stick. Like, if we're not marrying, even though I respect the Africans, they do have a lot of marriages. Like us of Black America, we don't really get married like that. We're actually going to be extinct just like the white people. And then this country is going to be the land of all of these people from all over the world in like 100 years. That we don't really get it together and start to, like the lady said earlier, or the guy said earlier, if we don't start uniting with each other and start having families, we're going to be extinct just like the white people.
You can't extinct us if we're if we're actually 1.89 billion people in the world. So you take
we're
the
being replaced.
diaspora.
We're being replaced by black immigrants. They're breeding with all the black women.
You're missing my point.
They're more married than us.
What I'm saying is that black people in the world is 1.8 billion people. That's the continent.
I'm talking about America.
I'm talking about black people. Yeah, black people in the world. So black is synonymous with African. So is colored and Negro. So if you were misclassified as colored Negro or freedman, if you were misclassified and grandma said you was Yamasee or whatever, then you know who you are. You know, you're not of African descent.
I don't really understand what you're talking about.
I'm saying that when you say black or colored or Negro or African American, it's synonymous with African.
We're different nationalities. Like even a Sierra Leonean or Ghanaian are two different people. Like what you're talking about.
We're like our own tribe. We're new.
You're just talking crazy right now.
USA.
You're not following me. I agree that we are our own ethnicity.
Yoruba
I agree that we are our own ethnicity.
Are two different tribes.
We are even before the nation they're from.
Passport King, can you wait your turn? We had a good conversation. Everybody was taking their turns. You come on in and you
no. We're not going to just let misinformation slide. Africans,
we let a lot of y'all misinformation slide
with us in the USA. Anyone saying otherwise is lying.
You're spreading misinformation right now.
No, it's not misinformation. It's fact.
Yes,
so you saying Africans don't identify by their tribe? There was all this.
No. They identify by their nationality. They identify by their ethnic group.
No, they don't. They identify by
and they identify by the continent as well.
They got identified by the tribe.
They could be a Nigerian. They could be a Yoruba.
Y'all stay lying and stay dishonest.
Well, you ask the question and you start talking.
That's
no,
Africans
you know they identify by tribe.
They identify by nation as well, though.
Nigeria go by tribe first.
Okay, all right. First, okay, I can take a first, but then you're saying that they don't identify by nationality. You said first, so I can go with that. Yes, first by ethnicity.
By first, and only by nationality if they leave their country.
Okay, I can go with that
let
too.
me tell you about this so-called
but they also identify as African as well. Would you agree? Would you agree that they identify as African?
I've been to Japan. I lived in Europe. I've been to Australia.
These African questions because
they go around the world. All of a sudden, they only got this pride for their tribe in the US when they're talking to us. When they're in Europe, and I seen it with my own eyes, I spoke it to when they're in Europe, they're in Australia, they're in Japan, they're cosplaying as Black Americans. So don't give me this nonsense.
How old are you?
About they're Black. But then they come here.
How old are you? You don't mind me asking?
You're African. Okay, we're Africans, but they're Black immigrants. How the hell does that make any sense?
They have a whole different paradigm when in the UK.
Well, I will ask this, Shaw, where is your land in Africa? What do you have in Africa?
Yorubas have accepted me.
What land do you have?
Congo has accepted me. That's a country.
So what
Nigeria is a country.
What are you?
I'm of Congo descent. I'm of Yoruba descent, and I'm somewhere in the region of Guinea, Mali, Senegal.
So you're just going to their countries
No, I'm not. I'm telling you what my background is. That's my
You just
ancestry.
called us all this big global black people. Like, where is the land for that?
So the Africans also identify as black, just like Colombians, and they identify as black too.
So why are South Africans throwing out Africans if they're
Well,
all this
that's
big
another
global
issue.
black people? What are you talking about?
That's not that has nothing to do with
Why is
how they
America kicking out
identify.
Haitians
No, it has
if
everything to
we're this
do.
big
See, this is
global
what
black
we
people?
mean.
You're talking about something else now.
Y'all
If
don't
we're
want
a
to
big
hear
global
reality.
black
Y'all want to
people, why
spin
are Haitians
Wakanda fantasies, and
distinguished?
no one's falling for it no more.
Haitians consider themselves black people.
Why are they
They
getting
also
thrown out
consider
of
themselves
America?
Haitians
If we're the same people, why are we separated from them?
because the people that took us from the
International
Dahomey,
law recognizes
the
nations.
people
You're
that
talking
the people that
crazy. It's
took.
no
I'm gonna answer
international
you.
law of a
I'm
big
gonna answer
global
you. Go
black
ahead. You
people.
talk. Go ahead. You ask
I
your
was, I was,
question.
Nationality
I was listening
versus
to Passport King.
ethnicity. Nationality versus ethnicity. That's the
And
reason
check
why.
it. I'm glad you mentioned Haitians, M.
Why?
Right now in Jamaica, they're having protests about Haitians being sent to their country. But
I
wait a
didn't hear.
minute. I thought
Okay. So anyway, can you guys hear me?
everyone was black.
Yeah, we can
I
hear
thought
you.
everyone's African
Okay.
diaspora.
Because this mic
Why
might
are
shut
they
off
in
on me
Jamaica
anytime. The
protesting
people
about
that they
Haitians
took
being
from
sent to their
Dahomey,
country?
they
And
took
y'all
to
want to
Would you
gaslight
be
the
quiet
people
so
of
Shaq can
them like
talk?
you don't know what's going on in the
the
world.
people that they took from Dahomey. They brought them to different places, not only the Caribbean. They took them to South America.
Why did the homies
They brought
separate
them
the black
to.
people
Well,
from themselves
can
if
I
we're this big
finish?
global black people? Why did they sell black
Why are you
people?
cutting me off, bro? I
I
can't
was
even
trying to listen to
finish.
Passport King.
Yeah, no, but I'm in the middle of talking, and you just talking over me. They brought those same people from the same tribe. It could be the Fong tribe to the United States as well. So we could have cousins that are in Haiti or in Brazil. Literally,
Who is they that took these people? Who
relatives.
took the people? Who drove the people?
The
They
Portuguese,
are not our
Who
cousins
sold them?
because
Who
Haitians
sold
English.
them? Who sold them to the Portuguese?
So
even
now
though
you're talking about
some of our ancestors
now your
from them, we're
your
separated by
stress, your
centuries.
traumatic stress syndrome is coming out because
I ain't got
whenever
no
we
stress
talk
in
about
me.
He's a
history, we
psychiatrist.
Ain't no
talk about
traumatic stress
history,
syndrome.
you're
Don't
going to
use
talk
words you don't know
about
the meaning
they
to.
enslaved us.
This guy is
You're
like
talking
That's
you
centuries.
guys are
post-traumatic
psychosis.
slavery syndrome that
You have
you're
like
exhibiting.
Stockholm syndrome. You are associating with your
We're not.
slave master.
We didn't even talk about that though.
You were
All
obsessed
we're
with your
talking,
oppressor.
all we're
The
talking
Africans
about is
sold
where
you.
all we're talking about is where the Africans were taken and where they were
They
brought to.
sold you. They wasn't
Now you
taken.
went.
But
Now
guess
you're
what?
okay. Sold. Okay.
Even
Now
hold
you
on,
happy?
You was
even as
We were
trafficked.
small group
sold.
of
So
You
now
Africans
are
that
brought to
traumatized.
America,
All
they
so
are no
Africans
longer
the
are
point
black
that
Africans.
I'm making,
Americans.
They
and
are
you're
Black
changing the
Americans.
point. The
Not
point
all
that I'm
Africans.
making
They
is
ain't
that
changing the
you
point.
have
It's
potentially
reality.
you have relatives in
You
South
have
and Central America.
No, they
irregardless.
don't got no
Irregardless.
relatives.
So we're the same people. Is the point I'm making?
No, we're not. No, we're
You're
not.
not
We
my
got
people if you
different
sold me.
cultures.
No,
We
I'm
got
talking about the
different
people
languages. We
enslaved
got
and
our
brought
own
to
I
traditions.
Haiti
thought they
and
were
to
coming
All
for
this
African
Brazil.
evolved here
Those
in
slavery.
are people who
America.
were caught and enslaved and sold.
Do you
And
recognize
those are the same
our
people that
ancestors?
we are.
Do you do
Potentially,
you
they
do you
are.
recognize our ancestors in
No,
America?
first of all, will you
Okay,
acknowledge what
hold
I'm
on. I got
saying?
him,
Because you're
man.
talking and you're not
Shaw.
listening.
Hey, hold on,
Will
Shaw.
you acknowledge what I
Okay,
just
check this. I'm
said?
gonna I'm
At
gonna I'm
least
gonna call
acknowledge it.
you
You
on
may
that.
not
But
agree
I'm
with
trying
it.
to listen to
regardless, if
Passport
we're the
King.
same
I
people,
know you
Did
are,
you know
but
that?
Passport
Did
King
you
ain't
know the
talking. I'm
Indians
talking.
had
I got him.
slaves?
Hold on, I
Did
got him,
you,
man.
I'm
Shaw, if
asking
we're
you
the
to
Passport
same
King?
acknowledge
people
what I
who've been
just
to
said.
Africa, tell me. No, no, no,
Passport
Did
no.
King,
you
Hold
did
on.
you
did
know
you
the
Hold
Indians
understand
had
what I
slaves?
just said
on.
though?
Hold
I'm
on.
listening to Passport King.
I'm not
Right.
arguing
So
with
the
Shaw.
point that I
I'm gonna
made was
I'm gonna
that they
go with his
took
line
these
of reasoning.
Africans from
If
different
I
we're
don't
the
really
places,
same,
care
enslaved
hold
them.
on.
actually.
If
Right. I know you don't. So the
I don't
point
talk
is
about
that
slavery
we
all
have
day.
relatives. We have put relatives in different parts of the
I don't talk
Americas
about
that
500
were
years
brought from
ago.
Africa.
All y'all talk about is 500 years ago. I'm talking about
no,
today and what
Shaw,
we
if
gonna
you're
do
gonna
about
play that
reparations.
game,
I'm
Shaw.
I'm trying
talking
to listen to
about
Passport King. slavery.
about the early 1800s.
You stuck in slavery. All you talk about is
No,
slavery.
what we're talking, but we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, he was
Go,
talking
go back.
about it. He
Go
was
go
Yeah,
talking
we
back.
about
Okay,
Go.
were.
no, hold on. Let's go
M
with that,
was the
M.
main
Because
one talking about it.
M, let's go
We,
with
we
Right.
was
that line
talking.
of
We was talking
reasoning.
about the population
Shaw,
of
let me
America,
see.
and we was talking
Well, we
about
can go back
how.
to that.
Go ahead. I was
We
trying to
can
listen
go
to
back to
Passport
that.
King though.
Passport King is not talking, is he? I don't hear him.
He was
Shaw,
talking.
Okay, well, see now my
Shaw,
mic is
okay.
my thing is starting
Shaw,
to mess
check
up because I
this.
can only hear you
Shaw,
and
if we're
another
the
brother.
same people as those Africans across the world, you want to call them our
I
cousins?
hear nobody right
Mention those
now.
people's name again.
Passport King talking.
Yeah, see my mic
Shaw,
is
now
the
you're
way that I
playing
sign in
games.
now is messed
What
up.
those
So
Africans you
I gotta find
mentioned,
another way to
those
sign in.
Africans you mentioned, you claiming are our cousin. What's their name again?
There are brothers
Well,
and
you forgot
sisters.
already?
Passport King said, "What is the name of these
Well, you
Africans
forgot
that claim
already?
to be our brothers and sisters
The name of them,
Or cousins, whatever you want to
you
call
or
them.
could,
cousins?
yeah. Well, they're in Haiti, they're in Cuba, they're
What's their
in
names?" He said, "What's their
Guyana.
names?"
Their
They're
names, the
tribal names.
names.
Check out the
Yeah.
DNA. You might find some of your relatives through DNA. Just check
No,
Y-
no,
out.
no, no. I want to
Yeah,
hear
that's a
him. I
very
want to
good
hear him.
uh,
What's their
way to do it.
names?
He said, "What's their names?"
What, you don't know their names
Or do you
now?
mean their ethnic
What are you trying to prove
names?
with all these trivial questions? I don't understand. Where you going? Where
No,
you
it's
going,
not
Pastor?
trivial. It's in line with the discussion. Trivial would
Well, I
mean
mean,
if I just came up
what's
with
the
something
end goal?
totally
I
random
understand.
that's not from discussion.
You keep asking
I'm
us
asking him
questions.
a question. What are the names of these groups?
Why? I mean, that's what I'm trying to get to. Why are you asking that?
Okay, if you asking me why, do you know what you just proved? You just proved that y'all just
Yeah,
restating
you've been
anything
babbling.
just
You've
to
been
state
babbling.
it,
I
and
don't
you
know where you're
cannot even
going.
elaborate, and you
We
can't
need
even
something
have a discussion
tangible.
based on what
We
you're
need something
discussing.
on.
It's going
We need
anything against the
documentation.
wall. Oh, he left.
He
You
said he
said
couldn't
Look
hear
at he
you.
left.
that's what I'm saying. Just go ahead, Passport King. Go and talk.
Now he was playing games. He could hear. He could hear. All of a sudden now they want to play games. They can't hear. They can't understand. They don't speak English. They need a universal translator like from Star Trek. You know, it gets real goofy.
This guy came in,
See,
Shaw.
here's the
He just
problem.
talked about some slave trauma, post traumatic slave trauma out of nowhere. But go ahead.
Okay, and guess what? All right, cool. If they want to play that game, here's how I do it. Anything they say, I could flip in on them. They want to claim that we got post-traumatic slaves, this trauma as some type of insult. Here's how you flip it on them. Okay, you know what? We agree. We got post-traumatic slave trauma. You know what the cure is or what the remedy is? Delineation. We delineate for the next 500 years or however long it takes our descendants. We do what we got to do. They
King,
don't
That's
may
get the
I?
that's not
parasite
a
off of
rational
us,
decision.
and we
That's not a
see if that's
rational
the
decision.
healing we need.
That's the
Can
religion.
you
That's
hear
the
me,
decision of
Passport
a
We
King?
person.
This
delineate.
is Rakoya. I'd like to
That's
ask you
that's
a
the
question.
that's the healing solution. Since we got post-traumatic slave
That's not the
syndrome.
healing solution.
Can
That's
you
actually
hear me, sir?
No, that is the solution. No,
Hey,
no, hold on. If y'all can
Rekoya's talk. Let Rekoya go ahead, Rekoya.
Passport King, I want to ask you a question. You've spoken a lot about delineation and so on and so forth. Certain things I have agreed with, some I'm not sure. What is the purpose of delineation? Can you give me the summary of what the purpose of, besides reparation, which is so obvious? Tell me what the delineation purpose is in terms
I'm
of
glad you
contemporary
asked.
stuff.
Self
Thank you.
Yes.
preservation.
What delineation means is that for U.S. slavery descendants and free men, there's multiple names. Some go by foundational Black Americans, some go by ADOS, American Descendant Slaves, some go by DOS. I'm using those terms interchangeably, even if some people using one moniker versus another don't. What
Dynasty.
delineation does is that the people who are descendants of the slaves and free men in the United States, we in all sectors of society, politically, economically, and culturally, we recognize we have a distinct lineage, a distinct history, and we stay to ourselves within the United States. In other
Hey,
words,
Don, is
there's
this
no more
Don? It's Don me.
so-called hold on. There's no more this so-called
How you
I'm
doing? This is
listening.
pan-Africanism.
Please don't
Dynasty
Other
here.
interrupt me,
Yeah,
groups
guys.
that
about my
come in.
document. We spoke before. You about my
Dinus,
documentary?
Dinus, we hear you.
Yeah, a couple years
Wait,
back.
Dinus
Dinus,
speaking?
we hear you. You on the phone? We hear you.
Dinus, we're getting
Okay.
background chatter.
We can
So
hear you
as I
through the
was
phone.
saying,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
we
listening.
simply stick to ourselves, as at least relatively speaking, and we
Hmm.
advance the best interests of our communities. See, the problem with not all, with some of the
I,
diaspora, Y'all taking delineation as an attack against y'all. Y'all think we're attacking you. We're
No, no,
not
no,
doing
no.
anything
Please
remotely
stop. I,
close
I,
to what's
I
going on in South
don't
Africa.
move it in that direction, please. I asked you specifically for delineation. I was going to ask you a question based on that, so I
Well,
don't
we
want.
separate. Hold on.
Yeah.
We
So you're
separate. Hold on. We
separating.
separate as much as possible, and we
Sure,
put the
sure.
best interest for U.S. slavery descendants, freedmen,
Okay,
FBA, ADOS. We put our
got you.
interests first, as we are the majority of
I,
Black people
I
in this
think you're a
country.
little bit long-winded. I hear you. It's
90%.
okay,
Some
fine.
say it could be
Don't
as
listen
high
to
as
it. Yeah.
20%,
I get you.
but
I
80
want to have a conversation with you.
to
I don't need you
90%
to
of
lecture
Black
me.
people. What
Could you let
happened?
the
I
lady
need
talk? Could you let the lady talk? You've been
Wait, I
going
can't hear
on
you.
and on.
I'm having a conversation, sir. You're not trying to lecture me. I've heard you. I wanted you to be clear. You've been a little bit long-winded, but observed and in respect. So the reason for delineation is to be separate, to maintain your own identity, to invest in your communities and all that. Absolutely wonderful. How does that though create any kind of antagonism against other groups of people?
Oh,
How
here
does
we
it,
go.
and
All
how do
right,
they
here we go with the
I want to
victim.
ask that.
No, yeah, no, you're gonna stop. You're not gonna play this game. Y'all are not victims. I tell you what, no one forced any diaspora immigrants into the United States. If Black Americans are big
You
bad
really
guys,
have
we
a
boogeyman.
problem.
You know what?
You really
Don't
have a
move in our
problem. I'm
communities.
having a
Go live with the
conversation and
white people.
you
See if the white people.
something
No, no, no,
else.
no, no, no. That's the solution. Go live among the white people. See if you get treated better, or go live among the Asian or the
Sir, you sound very,
Hispanic.
very, very
God,
immature.
the big Black Americans, they bully
I
us. They,
asked you a
no one's
question,
falling
you
for that no
began
more.
something
Cut
else.
that
I think
garbage
you
out.
decisively have a little bit of a
No,
problem because
because I see where you're
I
going
said
with that.
nothing and
Y'all
you
want
jumped on
to play
another
the victim,
tangent.
and we is sick
I
and tired
only
of that
asked you a
nonsense. I tell
question,
you what,
sir.
if y'all feel so victimized, y'all can leave the
I'm
United
not a
States.
victim. You've
No
not
one forced
victimized
y'all
me
here. The
anyway. I've
same way
not
you came
accused you
in,
of
y'all
nothing.
can leave.
Sir, my
That's the
questions might be
solution. And if
exposing
y'all
you
take
because
that as offensive,
I
if
haven't
y'all
claimed
take that as
anything
hate
yet.
speech, I don't care at this point. Y'all take it offensively, I
I,
don't care.
I'm
Because we
not
sick and tired of y'all
offended.
playing victims.
You're so
Y'all want to
silly.
throw stones and hide your hands. Enough of that. We are
Guys,
sick.
can you see there's something wrong with this gentleman?
Yeah, I can
I
see
have
it. I
said
can see it.
absolutely nothing.
I can
I
see it
asked the
clearly.
question, he's gone off. You sound so stupid. I have said nothing. I've only wanted to have a conversation, and I asked you. You can have
No, you
all
ain't
those
trying to have a
things.
conversation. Y'all know
I
you do
did.
you think you're slick. I already heard where you was going. You were talking about
You don't even
antagonism.
know
You're trying
me.
to make it like we're attacking y'all. Let me tell
I
you,
never
we
said
have done
so.
nothing to diaspora immigrants close to what the KKK and
Guys,
other
I
hate groups
can't
have done to
talk to
Black
you, man.
Americans.
If you can't talk to
Yeah,
somebody
you can't talk
as
because you
benign
can't
as
run your
I am, you
game.
really have
You
a
can't run
problem.
your BS on me. I'm
You
calling it
can't
out.
talk to
Y'all not
me.
gonna play this victim role anymore. That's
See, this is
dead.
why I'm
That's
not
no,
aligning
you're
myself
not
with
playing the
FBA.
victim role. We're not going for that no more.
Oh
This is
my
why I'm not
goodness.
aligning. Here's the thing: why I'm not aligning myself with the FBA. First of all, a lot of the FBA movement has been
Crazy.
engulfed by the abos. The
But
My
you got to
like
realize the
hold on,
FBA
let
was
me finish.
inspired by the negative commentators, the African negative commentators talking about we have no culture. We have no culture. We hearing
I'm
all this
not saying
negativity all on the
that.
internet, so we're just responding to that.
No, but sir, not every African
No,
says that. Many Africans who
They
live
was talking
amongst the
greasy about us
no-common
all on the
stones and
internet.
want to hide their hands.
The Haitian talking about
Same
dirty
thing with
black
the
Americans.
Haitians. We got
I've
we
heard
got
people say
we
that, and
got
I've
over
heard
a
So
Africans
you're
decade of
stuck.
speaking
videos,
dirty
tweets,
Africans.
posts,
What
podcasts
is
of
So
That's
you're
Haitians
stuck
feedback.
what
on
going
is this?
Some
crazy
some
of them,
about Black
some of them said
Americans.
that,
body
but not
And
all
calling
when
of
the
them. Just like the
names.
GPS
lady
ended,
said.
what did
You
Haitians
guys are
do?
mad,
They
mad,
turn around
mad.
attacking Black Americans. How come they're not going after Trump? Trump and the white people tell them they gotta get the hell out of the United States. Don't hold on. Don't y'all say
Well, we already know
we got
Tariq
no
has been
power in the
funded by
USA? Don't you aren't y'all quick to say that? We got no power, we don't control nothing. Okay, let's go with that. So why aren't y'all going at Trump and the white people? See what
so we
Hey,
cowards you
know
are?
there's a
hey,
Y'all think you
hey,
connection.
punch down
We
at
know
FBA.
there's a
Guess what? Those days are
connection
over.
to
Y'all think you're punching down
non-black
on
hands.
us? It ain't
If you
gonna
look
go the
at
way
the
you
history of
think.
ADOS,
hey,
we
hey,
know
Passport
Yvette
King.
Carnell
You know
came
Megyn Kelly, when she had her commentary about the Haitians, she mentioned that they are very not nice to their neighbors. So
Did
the
you
white
know?
people look at how they talk to us, and they feel a certain way how the
Did you
black
know
immigrants talk to us.
Yvette Carnell was part of a right wing think tank?
Fam,
She
we got
she
receipts going
started a
back
group called
decades
ADOS,
of
right?
Haitians just
And
talking
ADOS
That's
was
a
the
political
brainchild
organization.
of ADOS. Yeah, it was
Casa
a
not
political
talking about
organization,
we just
but it
claim
was
Americans.
the
We're nothing.
brainchild
Remember Casa
of
not
a
talking about
right
we ain't got
wing
no culture. The
organization.
Haitian
What are you
Casa
listening to
not
though? You're listening to some people telling you don't have culture. You
a
know you
whole
have
bunch of
culture
black
though?
Exactly.
immigrants
That's
talking
exactly what I'm
greasy
talking about,
about us.
M. They
So
want
now
to
all
throw
of a sudden we
stones and
respond with
hide
FBA.
their hand.
And another thing that's wrong with FBA is that they got the history all wrong, right? Some believe they were all raised here. You know,
What does it matter?
it does
What
matter because
exactly? What
if
does it
if you're a
matter?
people, you should
People
know
got
your
all types of
history. If
mythologies
you
about their
have,
history. You
No,
ever
well,
heard
guess
the
what?
Chinese,
Hold
the
on.
it
Japanese
does
Here's what
origin
you
matter.
don't
story?
understand, Big Black.
The
The
creator,
descendants
the
of slaves
creator
was
of
here from when the
FBA.
United States was created. We was here from the 13th
Some
colony. So
people,
when we say foundation of
FBA
Black
say,
Americans, that's
I've heard
actually
faxes of
correct.
FBA say
That's
that
not a
they were
misnomer.
slaves.
Are
I've
you
heard
going to say
faxes of
that? Are you
FBA
going to
that said they were slaves. I've
that
heard faxes
diaspora
of
The
FBA
immigrants
that
was
said they
here
Japanese
were
before
believe they
Black
was
slaves.
created by
Americans?
gods.
Hold on. Are you trying to
So,
say
so
that
I don't,
diaspora immigrants was here before Black Americans?
no, what I'm trying to
Is
say
that a
that there's
yes or no?
abos
Hold on,
in
no.
the
Let's not
human.
play games.
I'm trying to say that there's
Let's cut to
abos
the
in
Why is
humans
chase.
everybody
to say
talking?
Were African
slavery
immigrants and
never
Caribbean
never
immigrants
occurred.
here before Black Americans in the
There's
USA? Is
abos
either yes or
in the
no?
movement that
Is
said
either yes or
slavery
no?
never happened.
No,
You're
no,
in
no.
your
No
movement,
tap
sir.
dancing. No, see,
You're in the
men talk
FBA
straight.
movement and you're not
Big Black,
acknowledging
you're a
that.
All
man
we
or
all
not?
I hear is a
Big
bunch of background noise, a whole bunch of
Big Black,
talking.
are you a man?
I was
Men
talking
answer
first.
question.
I was talking
Were
first.
Black
He doesn't
immigrants
acknowledge the
here
elbows
before
that are in this
Black
movement that say
Americans?
slavery never existed. Is that true or false, Passport King? Is either true
The
or false? Are
Sumerians
there
believe it was created by
No,
the
no, 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 no.
Anunnaki.
You
Like
answer
where
my
people
Are there
have their
question.
own
elbows
Who was
creation
in
in
the
stories.
America?
movement?
I gotta read these. I gotta read the money.
Freedmen
FBA
and
yell line. Thank you for
slaves or
499
Black
holla.
immigrants?
Can we define what coming together actually means? It's too broad. What practical strategies can improve our lives and our future generations? KBE Live, thank you for 499 holla. Other than 1526, when the Spanish brought Africans to the New World, where is evidence supporting so-called blacks being in this hemisphere? Babaliko 9354, thank you for $5 holla. Don't listen to Passport Queen. He always talking garbage and he's not American. Questions to ponder. Go ahead, questions to ponder. Unmute yourself. Questions to ponder. Questions to ponder. Unmute yourself.
I yield for now.
Oh, okay.
I yield.
Okay, all right, no problem.
No. See,
Okay,
everyone
to
want to
answer
play
that
these
super chat's
games.
question,
No,
I
everyone want to
used
play.
earlier.
Everyone want to play.
The,
Everyone want to play these games of throwing stones and hiding their hands. Those days are over with. Everyone's going to be held accountable for what
Yeah,
they've
I
been
have a
saying and
question though.
doing. And
Why
not
not call
saying
us
every one of the
foundational African
diaspora,
Americans? I
but
like
too
foundational
many have
African
been
Americans.
disrespectful.
Why can't we
They've
be
been
foundational
Why
African
ungrateful.
don't y'all
They
like to
Americans?
hear
think that Black
Passport King?
Americans
I mean,
are stepping
Passport King
stones,
talk.
human
Now
shields,
we
and
could
attack
agree on
dogs for them.
foundational African
Them days
Americans.
are
Why
done.
can't we use foundational African Americans?
I mean, what does any of that
We mean
matter?
foundation African American. That's a
We
retarded
are
term.
foundational. We're foundational to this
No,
country,
we're
and
not
we're
no
African
Africans. Cut
Americans.
that nonsense.
Oh, that's the thing. You don't want to be African. See, that's why I don't like your
It was
movement.
used a
You don't
proper
have the we have more African
term.
DNA than
You
No,
Where is
go
the
with
we're
that.
not
African
going
land
down
at?
that
we
road.
have
Foundational
We're
more
not going
African
down
African
that
American
road.
DNA than
sounds
anything.
better,
We ain't
actually.
not going down that road.
where
Where
in
is the
Africa
land?
are we
We
from
have.
if we're
We're not
going to
going down
use
that road.
foundation of African Americans?
You
Where
don't need
in
to know.
Africa are we
How can
from?
we
Do we have
hold on?
more African DNA than
Hold on.
anything?
We're
What does
African
it matter?
Americans, but when diaspora
Ask
immigrants,
some
hold
It
on,
questions.
doesn't
The
Ask
matter
some
whole
where we're
world
questions.
has
from.
African DNA. The
No,
whole
we
world
don't have
has
we're
African
African.
African
No,
DNA.
we
Americans,
have
right?
African
But
DNA
diaspora
straight
immigrants,
straight
they
from
come
different
into the
groups in
USA and they're
Africa.
Black immigrants.
You
They're calling
calling us Africans, but when that's
So
what
we
immigrants
can't
come
use
in,
foundational
they're black
African
immigrants.
Americans?
How the hell does
Isn't that self-hate?
a lick of sense?
You
This
rather be
is
labeled
just
No,
African than
self.
African?
No, what it is,
confusion.
That's a
it's
lot of
suffering from
self-hate there.
It's just
yourself.
confusion.
It's self-hate. That
No, ain't
sounds
no
like a
self-hate.
self-hate movement. It
Maybe
is a
you
self-hate
have
movement.
self-issues
You
of
have more African
comprehension. I think
DNA
that's
in
what
you
it
than you do
is.
it. Do you have more African
No,
or
we
white
don't.
DNA, sir?
No, the hell we don't.
You have more white DNA
No,
in
we
you?
don't.
You have white DNA
I
in you,
mean, what
sir?
matters?
We
What type
have
of DNA you got in you?
look.
Like,
We
what is
went through
that?
this
How is that
DNA
going to
game.
affect your life?
Okay,
Oh, DNA games. I'm just talking about straight science.
Where's the African DNA?
Do you have more white DNA
Africa?
or African DNA, sir?
Hold on. If we're the same as Africans, why didn't we flee the United States like they flee Africa? We're the same.
So we don't have any African DNA,
now.
sir?
Why didn't we just flee the United States?
We have like 90% African DNA.
No. That's a question.
Yes.
What, you don't understand? What, you don't understand?
I'm asking you to answer my question, sir.
Why didn't
we have a lot more
the
African DNA
haplogroup.
Africa?
None of the haplogroups has the word Africa in it. The AOO, the B1, E1, B1, which is the African. None of it says African. None of the DNA haplogroup says African.
Let's say this: we have majority African DNA.
Right, and when you get your test back, it doesn't say African in your test.
It
It
has a
says
certain
whatever
number.
region your
It's a
people are
number.
from.
None of the words used for DNA haplogroup says African in it.
Okay, let's say this: we have more Nigerian DNA, right?
What's Nigerian DNA? Name it. Name the number. What's the number sequence for Nigerian
Haploid group
DNA?
is specific.
E1,
They're
B1.
giving
Okay, E1, B1 is it?
E1, B1.
Okay, so what do we have more?
It's not. It doesn't say African.
No, you're naming a haploid group. You're naming a haploid group type.
You got a haplogroup that's shared with Europeans and Africans. They got the same haplogroup. None of it says African.
Oops, big black.
Einstein has the same DNA as the African.
But when you get your test back, you're not getting haploid group per se. What you're getting is you're getting
You got your
Europa,
mitochondria and you
or
got
you're
your
getting
Y chromosome.
Nigeria, or you're
They
getting
say the
Cameroon.
region, the most likely region, but the haplogroup itself is not called African or Nigerian. They just assume this is where the people are. But some of them people are in Europe, like the most of the Sephardic Jewish people got the same haplogroup as the Somalians and the Nigerians. None of it says African. There's no African haplogroup.
We come from Africa, though. We come straight from Africa.
I mean, there's people all over the world that got the E1, B1.
You're talking about genetic mutations.
They say a lot of Black Americans got the E1, B1 too.
Do we have a genetic mutation?
It has nothing to do with land mass. It's a blood.
Do we have a genetic mutation?
But I ain't finna sabotage the conversation, though.
Right.
Who's tested that?
Because you're talking about other groups, right? That their skin and their hair changed to traveling out the
They
world.
say Nicolas Cage has haplogroup E1, B1A. It's E1, B1A and E1, B1B. E1, B1A is shared by Europeans. E1, B1A is shared by Africans.
Right.
It's the same haplogroup.
It's
none of it is called African.
Listen, sir.
There's no African DNA.
Didn't go through the glacier period like the other groups did, sir.
And I'm saying it's off memory.
When you do a test, they're not giving you your DNA per se. They're not giving you your haploid group. They're giving you a country and an ethnic group.
I mean, it's an estimate of where they could be now, but that's not. It's not. The haplogroup is not called African. That's what I'm saying. There's no African DNA.
Like I said, all the other.
Somebody got an echo.
No, right. I would agree with you. It's where and it's modern DNA. And if you go through African ancestry, it's through mtDNA and Y chromosome DNA.
Okay.
If you go through ancestry.com, it's autosomal DNA, which only goes back 5 generations. After that, it gets weak.
And when they found Albert Perry's DNA,
African Ancestry Company has the largest database of modern samples throughout in the world. They have the largest.
Before they found Albert Perry's DNA, the oldest people used to be the pygmy in Africa. They say, and they had to reclassify it as AOO, and then you got AO. AOO is the oldest, and they say about 200,000 years. And now they found a couple of people in Cameroon.
But those are L2, right?
They found a couple of people in Cameroon, and I'm looking
what
like,
is L1 and L2?
Suppose these people came from
L1,
Liberia
L2,
to Cameroon.
L3. That would be the Twa Mbuti.
But the oldest is from America. That's what I'm saying. But none of the haplogroups are called
and the
African.
Khoisan. I think they're also classified in the L's
It's a code.
as well.
It's a number. It's not called African DNA.
No, it's not the oldest. The oldest not is in America. The oldest is not in America. The oldest is in Morocco. I
What's the
think the oldest
haplogroup?
is in
Where they did
Morocco,
hold on, they
What is
did
it
find
called?
a
What's the
black man in
haplogroup?
South Carolina
and that's
who had
like
the oldest
300,
Y
400,000 years old.
DNA.
Right, right. Albert Perry, his DNA is the oldest Y chromosome on Earth.
Yes,
It's
that
older
has
than
been
all
discovered.
But
African Y chromosomes.
the oldest living Homo sapiens is the
The children
Twa
of Albert Perry.
Ibuti Binga Koi San.
But anyway, we're straight from Africa, right?
You
And
don't know where you. We
all the
really
other
don't
groups,
know because
all
we
the
had
other groups,
Pangea, where all of the continents at one
no,
point was
black,
connected.
Right, we
uh,
straight from Africa.
humans weren't around when Pangea was formed. So
Pangea was 250 million years ago. Please don't bring that into the conversation. There were no humans 200. There was nothing related
How
to
do you
humans
know?
250 million years ago.
In America, they found human beings next to dinosaur
Get your
footprints,
chronology
and
together,
also
brother.
mammoth. In North
How
America,
do you know
there's
if there weren't
footprints of
any
human
humans
beings right next to
250
mammoth
million years ago? How do
footprints
you know
because the
Pangea
mammoth
was
and
250
the
million
camel
years
are
ago?
both native to America.
Because all you got to do is do a quick Google search.
Oh,
Yeah,
Google was 200
250
million years
million
old?
years ago.
Google's 200 million years old?
Yeah, but when people bring Pangea into the conversation, that means they don't have a clue about when Pangea was.
And you don't either. If you said 250 million years ago, was you there? Who you know was there?
But let's just say that if they want to use this theory
I
about us
do.
evolving from monkeys, let's
I
just say the
do.
same monkeys on that side
It
of
was
Africa
as old as
was
250
on
million
this
years
side of
ago.
America before it split. The same monkeys evolved. If you want to say we come from monkeys, who's to say the monkeys wasn't on different parts of the continent before they separated? Who's to say that?
Now you're talking about stuff that you don't
And
know.
where the
If we was all
rhinoceros
from,
on
So
each
here's the
side of the
rule of
continent?
who's to
thought:
say the
is
monkeys
Where the
that
wasn't on this part of the
rhinoceros
nature
is at?
continent?
never creates the same thing twice in its evolution.
So why do we got fish all over the planet? All we got polar bears and
Listen.
koala
Nature
bears
never
and all these
creates the same
bears.
thing twice in its evolution.
How do you? What, you a scientist now?
Fish have a common ancestry.
Where is the giraffes in this hemisphere?
We
I
have
went to college to learn
we
this.
have in America the
I went to
camel.
college. This we
They
were
say the
learning this
camel
stuff in Black
is
Studies
what
actually
was the
from
echo?
America.
in
Somebody
the
got an echo.
The llama is from North America,
We was
South
reading Sheikh
America.
Anta Diop's African Origins of Civilization.
But people say that all life come from Africa. How do you explain birds and other continents,
And
other
talking
types of
about
life, other
the
than human
findings of
beings?
Carl
Somebody
Leakey and
needs to
all those
mute.
other
It's an
things.
echo. Somebody needs to mute. There's an echo somewhere.
Too much ego.
Hey, brother Patrick, I think you got an echo coming in.
It's probably me.
All right, guys. Let me read these super chats. Let's see here. El Euro thank you for $5 holla. Question to ponder has the perfect voice for a long distance relationship. Perseverance, Chameleon 5581. Thank you for 10 pounds. While you squabble, the devil is plotting the destruction of all black people. We are running out of time. They don't care what you call yourself. They are at war with us. Well, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you. Well, go ahead, Shaw. Go ahead, Shaw.
Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm gonna try to fix this problem that I got, but
Hi,
I just
hey,
want to say
Donna.
that I
Well,
appreciate the
let Shaw
title.
go. Then the question ponder. You can go after Shaw. Go ahead, Shaw.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Go. Yeah, Shaw. Go
All
ahead.
right, I just can't hear me.
Shaw. Shaw.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so I'll say this. I appreciate the title, and it was really good, and the conversation was pretty good, pretty decent. I think we get stuck on stuff that we shouldn't be stuck on, and it's again, it's some emotional things. You start talking about certain things, and people bring up the who was involved in the slave trade, and we're not even on that subject matter. We've got to deal with that family. We got to deal with that. Overall, though, I think the title did evoke a lot of good conversation and in a direction I think that we need to be looking at, because at the end of the day, we're in a position in the world, all over the world, where we find ourselves. We're in a certain position. So we've got to survive, we've got to thrive, and if we've got to do this quickly too. We can't be waiting around and figuring stuff out. I'll land right there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Dinas.
Go
Now
ahead.
that you're wrapping up, I just wanted to quickly share with the chat the live you had yesterday, the woman, Maya's sisters. I definitely implore everyone to re-listen to that live where Maya's sister was responding to me. I just want to remind everyone that, you know, discrimination against national origin, um, you know, to be very mindful that it is when you're looking in with employers and also in education, when you have people who are exhibiting very clear xenophobia and they are in positions of authority, like healthcare, education, your employer, definitely remember that you do have rights protected. So always make sure to document who you spoke to, the time and the day and what occurred, just in case you want to take action. Because one thing is for sure, that Maya sisters person, I personally do not believe this. She said she was a professor. I don't believe she's a professor. If you listen to her, how she speaks, what she speaks about, it just doesn't give an air of academia, especially a professor, whether at the community college level or at the university level. If you're teaching at a four-year university, you have to have a PhD. And there were just basic questions she did not answer, and also her cadence and what she was discussing, the inability to stay focused on topic. This just is not a professor. However, this person may be teaching, in an as an administration at a college or maybe a training school. Remember that, like I said, discrimination against national origin is a problem. It is illegal. And for when you're looking into these certain industries, xenophobia is very real. And we do hear it here on this panel. Dynast has a great panel for dialogue, but what we do hear, what you do read in the chat, there are people, the xenophobia is very, very real. And when people show you who they are, believe them. There's nothing we can do to change minds and hearts. But if someone is letting you know, like their level of hatred and disgust for you, just remember, just that's who it is. But you do have rights when it comes to protected industries. And lastly, Dynas, when it comes to the Black millionaires, there are roughly 1.1 to 2 million Black millionaires in the United States by some estimates, but the exact number is difficult to determine because wealth surveys measure household, not individual. So it's still not known whether when someone references millionaire or Black millionaires, if they're discussing either home equity or investable assets or even just cash. So I just want to bring that up because that's still very hard to gauge. And then we also have to keep in mind the greatest wealth generator is marriage. And, marriage is just not something that's on the radar when it comes to FBA. There is that book called Marriages for White People. And if when we're discussing marriage and households, people should definitely look at that because we can discuss population, but marriage is definitely a concern and an issue, especially as I just mentioned, that is the number one wealth generator, marriage, household, buying a home equity, and the Asians do it the best, and of course, just immigrants as a whole and white people, marriage. FBA, there is a problem right there. And I also do have the data concerning income, taxable income on W 2 for individuals. Like I said last night, Asian men is actually between the ages of 40 to 49. They, at median, are making $100,000. 100,000. So that, and that's just one group. So when it comes to FBA, they're making like 20,000. They're making like actually double what the median for an FBA male, the same age group. Like the Asians are making double. Black men, it's like $50,000 with that same age group, 40 to 49. So that really should be definitely a focus just amongst like Black people as a whole, bringing up income, education, and of course, establishing families. And I'll go ahead and wrap up right there. Thank you, Dynast.
I will say this. That thing
Dinus, can
about
I
a
respond?
master's degree, a
MFG, I
PhD to
didn't
be a
mean to
teacher.
interrupt
I
you. May
thought you
I
needed just a
please?
master's degree to be a teacher at a university.
Yeah,
Thank
she was
you,
just
Oh,
MFG.
yes,
spouting
you do.
some
Community
garbage.
college
You,
masters
She
at the
spouted a
very
lot of
at
garbage
least,
just now.
and 4-year
question
PhD. These are
responder,
just facts. These are
you do not
100%
know what
facts.
you're talking about.
Of
You are
course
being
I don't.
intellectually
Madam, go ahead and
dishonest.
speak. I won't
Yes,
be
you
responding
are.
to you. You
You
really do
can
have quite a bit
teach
of
at
vitriol
a
hatred,
four-year
and it is
university
very
with,
disturbing
will
as an
you
elder,
please
you
stop?
say.
Everyone heard what you said, and I did not interrupt. You can teach at a four-year university with a master's degree. That is
That is
inaccurate
correct.
information. And Patrick Young is shaking his head. So what you're saying is
And I
not true.
agree. My sister is right.
I mean, believe whatever you want. Live chat, believe whatever you want. There's a reason you call these professors doctor.
No, question
And
upon it. You're
furthermore, you do
wrong.
need
You
a
don't understand
PhD.
what you're saying.
Maya,
You're just
sister, you
babbling.
did not even share
I'll
which
agree
Question
with what you
upon it.
said
You're
department.
about
wrong.
marriage, though.
You
We
It's the
said
definitely need
problem
to
with y'all in
that
the
you said that you were a
focus on
Y'all are
professor.
marriage.
so
You said that
certain.
you
Y'all
were a
make just
professor. So you
fraudulent
have a master's
statements.
degree and what department?
You're wrong.
Just asking. You said that you teach. You said directly last night that you teach. You are a professor. And I
Question
asked
upon
you
you
if you
have
were an
come on
adjunct.
this
You never
site
even answered
and
if
you
you were
have asked
adjunct. You
me personal
completely
questions
deflected.
and you have not shared not a single personal question about yourself. I deserve my privacy.
He's an AI bot. I
Ma'am,
told
say
you. He's
whatever
an
you want.
AI.
You said that you were a professor. I mean, you're not. You're lying. But I mean, if you want to share that, whatever.
Question upon it.
But
You
but
said
first
some
of
teach
all,
great
as a
wait.
things,
You
grad
but
said
you
that
assistant.
you're a
shouldn't have.
Question
You
upon it.
professor.
shouldn't
What
have
makes you
mentioned
an
that about the
expert?
PhD.
Question upon it. What makes
Live
you an
chat,
expert?
live
Are you in
chat. Many of
education?
you
Are you in
have
the
all
university
attended
system in the
college.
USA?
Many of you
No, no,
community
no, no.
college
Are
and
you
four-year
in the education
university.
system
I
anywhere
don't
in the
need to
USA?
prove anything that you have not already
No, so
experienced.
that's a no, correct? That's a no, and you means you're talking out your behind.
But she did say
I
something
thought it was
valuable as far as
JC
us
for a
needing to be
master's.
getting into marriages more and increasing our net worth. That was valuable. But the thing about the PhD, I don't think that's true.
It
If you have
absolutely
a
is true.
bachelor's
Yeah,
degree,
But
she's
think
wrong.
whatever you
You
want.
just
you can
talking out her
assist a
behind.
professor as a graduate assistant.
A, did you just listen to yourself? A bachelor's, if you have a bachelor's degree and you're a grad
And if you was
assistant, you're
involved in
in a grad
education, Maya, at the
program.
university level, you would know
Like, are
that.
you listening to yourself?
No,
If you're in a graduate
but
program towards your
what
master's
Patrick just
degree.
stated is
So
correct.
what are you talking
Yeah, but
about?
that shows you don't understand the U.S. education system.
You're not even
No, that
educated.
where are you
You're not even
located?
educated. You're not.
No, no, no. Where
Many
are
of
you?
you are
No, no.
not. You
Where are
do
you
not know. You don't even hold a
located? Are you
bachelor's.
even in the USA?
Believe
Because
I
whatever
have
you
two.
sometimes
want. Do
y'all in the
whatever you
He's
want.
a
diaspora, y'all
bot,
don't
man.
even
At
He's
be
an
in
the
the
AI
USA.
bot.
You
four-year,
can't
there are
even know
only a
about the
handful
USA.
of four-year universities. For a professor, you said
No, where are
professor,
you
Maya,
located?
professor.
No, what country
And
you
in
in?
academia is
Why?
incredibly
Hold on. Why are
competitive.
you ashamed
For
to
you
say
to
what
even
country you
come here and spout
you
the
just
science that
filibustering?
you
Responder,
do,
I
Okay,
think
you
you're
can
you're
say whatever
jealous
you
what
want.
country
There's so
because
many
no one
college
would speak
graduates.
this
what
way.
country you in?
There are so many college graduates to
What
believe
country you
anything that
in?
you said. You don't
What
even
country
purport
are you
yourself
in?
as a
Are you in the
professor.
USA?
You have a hard time
Are you
even
in the
staying on
UK?
topic. But say whatever you want to say.
Are you in Canada?
To have the
Are you in
sentiment that
Africa or
you
the
have
Caribbean
and you're a
somewhere?
college
Because you
professor,
clearly don't
that is
understand
a
the U.S.
great deal of
education system.
liability. Your
You don't
behavior
understand
yesterday
the
was
university
incredibly concerning.
system
Dinus,
in the
I'm
And you
going to
are
USA.
a
wrap it up. Question
No,
to
professor
you don't
Dinus
with that
understand.
type
was
of
exhausting.
sentiment.
Dinus,
To all
wonderful
of you
show.
who are in college,
I
Okay,
many
I'm
of
need
you
back.
everyone.
remember.
Question to ponder. Let Maya
Yes,
finish.
I will. I'll mute. Thank you, Diana.
Go
No,
ahead,
I
Mr.
just said, question to ponder. She is just exhausting. And I just wanted to thank you. It was a wonderful show. And as I shared in the beginning, one of the reasons why I decided to join this particular podcast was because I really wanted to have personal interaction with Black immigrants and also people from Africa. And so,
Doesn't have a clue.
although I may disagree with people, I am just so happy for everyone sharing their thoughts and educating me on your experiences. That's all.
All right, thank you. Let me bring on a good King Justice, and we're closing out. Go ahead, good King Justice.
Yeah, it's good that you closing out too, because it was a bunch of nonsense on this show. Let's be real. The topic was, can we build with and love one another? And the answer to that is yes. But how we do it is based on nations. It's over 50 nations in Africa, and African Americans don't have a nation. Our Jamaican cousins got a nation. Our Haitian cousins got a nation. We don't have a nation. How we build and love with one another is when we become real allies, when we can send stuff over there and they can export stuff over here. Until we address that, until we start helping each other militarily, none of these conversations matter. African Americans need to focus on becoming independent, and the Caribbeans and the Africans need to focus on making their nation stronger. And that's how we come together. And I yield.
All right, go ahead, Invisible Man. Then we're closing out.
Okay. All right. Listen.
Invisible Man, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Okay, I know what I was doing. I was listening to. I got you on the other thing there. I have a question for question to ponder, and she has to answer this, because what I heard last night and what I heard tonight is abominable. I need to know what her credentials are. I need to know what her background is, because she has called someone a liar who shared her work history, her curriculum vitae, and her background. And to call someone a liar in the field that they are in, that they've practiced for years and years and years, and not to give your own background, says a whole lot about you. So, question to ponder: where are you from? What is your academic background? And have you ever been involved in the university system?
The person you're referring to never once said anything about her education background.
Hold on.
All she said was that she was a professor. That's all she said. Invisible Man, I shall go on mute. Focus on this live panel. I'm going on mute.
Now, I asked you your credentials. I asked you your background.
Why don't you ask the person her curriculum vitae? An Invisible Man, go ask her. That person, that woman, I believe she's a liar. If you don't like it, I hurt your feelings. I'm not sorry.
You want to know something?
Okay?
I have not
Have
really
a good
heard
night.
anyone
Back
come
on
in
you.
here. I have not heard anyone come in here and outright call someone a liar.
I called her a liar. I believe she's a liar.
Yes. So
Yes, I
what
did.
is your background? What
I
are
said
your credentials?
she didn't share anything, and I'm not going to share mine as well. I never said I'm a college professor. To be a
She
college
said she
professor,
was.
that is an
She
incredible
said she
feat.
was an
There
adjunct
is,
and she taught.
excuse me?
She said she was an adjunct and she taught.
She never said she was
gave
an
you her
adjunct.
back-
She
she
never
gave
once said.
you
I
her
asked her
background,
if she was
and
an
you have
adjunct. She never
refused-
answered.
You have refused.
She never answered she was an
to give-
adjunct.
You have
And being an
refused to give
adjunct
her
does
the
not state
background.
anything
And you
about your
come up
background.
here
It just
and
I'm the one who
you
asked her that.
say
You don't even know what an
certain
adjunct
things.
is.
You say I don't. I have taught on the college level.
Oh, really?
I
You
have a
taught. You
PhD.
really you
I
taught.
have
You
a
hold a PhD.
PhD.
There you go. Well, then go. Why don't
So
you go
hold on.
speak to her and ask her about her background?
No, because
Invisible
you
Man,
question
go ask her
You
about her
asked
background.
her
She said
background,
that she
and you
teaches
have
as a
yet.
college
The
professor.
only
That's
thing
all
you
she
do
said.
is says she said
Invisible
this,
Man,
she said that.
go speak to her.
Invisible Man this, Invisible Man that. You are
Why
pathetic.
you're so emotional?
You are pathetic.
Just like her.
No, you are pathetic.
Then, oh well, I'm
Because you
pathetic.
have
Too
not
bad, so
given
sad.
anyone any of your background. Everyone on here
You're
that has
a
been on
college
here for a
professor with a
while has
PhD, and you're
given
behaving in such a
has given.
manner on a
Well,
live
listen to you.
panel.
And you're
Listen
giving
to
someone
you.
a
How
panel, and what?
pathetic.
Listen to you.
You're
How
the one with the
pathetic. Yes,
PhD.
I understand
Really?
that
You have a
you can
PhD? What was your dissertation
mimic
in?
me. You can mimic me
You just
all
said you
you
hold a
want.
PhD. Well, share.
So
What was your
no,
dissertation in? What was your
no.
dissertation?
I at
What
least told
department do
you.
you teach
I
in?
at least
You
told
just said
you
that
that I had a
are a college.
PhD,
You've taught.
and you have
You
not
just said you
answered
taught.
one question. I
What
don't even
department?
believe you have
What
any
department? You're not
college
even
background,
answering.
because
You're
now
not
you've
even
asked me a
answering.
question and you
Are you
haven't
trying to
answered
flex
the
since you're a
question that
college
I asked
professor?
you.
You said you
No,
hold a
listen to you.
PhD.
Listen
Okay,
to
so what's
you.
your dissertation
Listen
in?
to
Just
you. You're not
share.
real. You're not
Okay,
real.
so what's your dissertation?
Right?
Okay, you're
So,
just
so,
you
so no,
sound
no,
like
no,
you're
no, no,
lying
no, 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 no,
too.
no.
People
No,
just
I
come here
gave
and
you
just
at least
lie.
that
They
I
just
had a
lie.
college background. Do you have a
You just
college
go ahead and
background?
lie.
Do you
A
have a
lot of
college
people went to
background?
college.
No, I'm
No
sorry. A
kidding,
lot of
Halou, they
people,
went
but
to
you did
college.
not. I'm sorry, but you
You
did
know,
not
okay,
go to
then don't really
college.
didn't go to
So
college.
where
It
are you
doesn't
from?
matter.
Where are you from? Question
It
to
doesn't
ponder.
even matter. What was your
Ponder? I mean,
dissertation
what are
in?
you, a bot?
You
I'm trying
clearly
to
Question,
tell
hold a
you.
lot
to
of
ponder?
emotions,
What
and
are
I'm
you
making you
doing
feel
here? No,
very,
no, no.
very inadequate in
You
regards to
are the
yourself.
one that has
You
an
came here to
emotional
ask me
issue because I
questions.
asked you
I
and you
just go ahead
refused
and
to answer,
speak.
and everyone
You're
else
the
has
one who
asked you a
said you have
question
a
and you have
PhD.
refused to
You
answer
have
the
not
questions.
mentioned what your
So, question to
dissertation
ponder,
is in.
we have a
You are the
question
one who
for you
said that
to
you have
ponder.
taught.
We
You
have
have
a
not shared
question
what
for you
department you
to
taught
ponder.
at. What
Question to
department?
ponder. So,
What is your
what
background?
academic
So you
background do
also
you have?
no different
You
than
are
the other
nothing. You
woman.
are the
You're
only thing
just
you're
kind of
doing is
stating that you
regurgitating
claim to
what
be
I
in
said. You
academia.
asked me the
Hey,
Like
question,
question of
a
and I
lot of
ponder.
asked
people go
you
to
Question of
college.
ponder said
A
the
ponder.
lot of
lady
people
Question
Maya's
go to
to
college.
ponder.
uh,
And so there are
Question to
able to
ponder.
come
political
on this
views
Answer
is
the
stage
question.
detrimental.
when you
Ponder.
present
I
yourself
got
Answer
as a
some
the
super
college
white
question.
racist
professor.
white
You're not a
teachers, and they
Question.
still got
professor.
their job.
No. Question to ponder.
Invisible man.
In
You're the
question to
one
ponder.
here claiming you're
Answer
a
the
college
question. You know
professor
what?
and that you hold a
I have
PhD. You
given
haven't
my
said
background
anything.
on here to a
I
number
don't
of
believe that
Invisible
people.
she's
man,
a
I don't
college
think
professor.
you
You
can
don't like
force
it?
her
I mean, that's
You
not, that's
haven't
your
divulge
said
judgment. Aren't that
anything.
her
You
upsetting?
have yet
information. I
to.
don't think you're
I
gonna be
hear you, Em.
successful.
I
Yeah,
hear you,
she
Em.
loves to
But
filibuster.
she
Of
needs
course
to answer
not.
the
This
question.
is what she
She has
does.
not
She
Answer what
answered the
filibusters.
question?
question.
Answer
I
what
She
don't
you're the
think
one
hasn't.
she's
here
Now she
mentioned
obligated
you
to do
have
doesn't.
that.
that you're a
I asked you two
PhD.
questions. You can't even remember the question.
You're
That
the one
tells
who
me
said you have a
how
PhD.
I
Why
don't
would
think
you share
she's
you
that you
are.
hold
under.
a
She
Tells
PhD?
should be
me
forced to
that
give
What's
up
your
you
her
are
personal
dissertation?
information.
limitless.
And you said that
That
you taught. Where did you
tells me
teach
how
at?
limitless you are,
Invisible
because
man.
I
You
only
just came
asked you
here for
two
attention
questions and
because
you have
I'm
refused
awesome.
to answer
Go ahead,
those
keep
two questions.
speaking. I'll go on
Oh
mute.
wow, you're awesome. You're awesome at being evasive. You're awesome at not answering questions, ponder. So I gave
Yes.
you two questions to ponder,
What is
and
your
you have not
dissertation in?
answered those.
You
I
said
I
that
don't think
you
you're going to be
teach at the
successful
university
Answer
getting her to
level.
give up
question.
What
Did you
is
go
information
your
to
like that.
college?
department?
It's not
Question
going
I
to
to
work.
never
ponder.
asked you any
Question to
questions.
ponder. Did you ever go
You
to
are
college?
demanding, you're
Question
asking
to
questions
ponder.
of me.
Where are
I
you
don't need to
from?
ask questions of
Question to
you.
ponder.
You're
Are you even
here
real?
being
Question
very
to ponder. Are you?
emotional.
Question to ponder. Are you
Sir,
real?
what
Are you
department do you
real? And
teach
can you
in?
Invisible man.
answer?
What
When
department do you
Maya gave
teach
her
in?
her information, she did
What
that
department
voluntarily.
do you
She
teach
didn't
in?
have to.
What
No.
department do
I
you
believe.
teach
You know
in?
what, Em? I think you're
What
right. I don't think
department?
this
You said
person
that
is
you
real.
teach.
This
So
must
what
be a
department do you
bot,
teach
because
in?
if she is real,
She's from
she's
You
not.
just said
NVIDIA.
that you teach at
Yeah, I
the
think
that
Yeah,
you
it's
she
got
teach
to to be a
university
to a
level.
using
psychiatrist.
a fake
I
Okay, so
think
what
she
identity.
needs to go
department? And
to
you
a
said that you also
psychiatrist.
have a
I
PhD.
think
What was your
that's what she needs
dissertation
to
in?
do.
I
Either
agree,
that,
Invisible Man. She got to be a
Okay, so
bot or
what? You're not
something.
even going to share.
Yeah,
You
Because
some
say
unless
type
you
of
she's
can
going
teach
to
algorithm.
about
witness
won't
yourself,
protection,
answer
but you
anything.
cannot even give the most
unless she's going to
surface
witness
level
Even when
protection
you
basic
use
program,
her
she
information.
can't be
name,
afraid to
You're
answer a
no
simple
different than
question
this
like that.
other
even
woman.
even when you use the words in her name, I don't think she even understands the meaning to the words in her name.
Of course you don't. Because you're
No,
not a
you
college professor.
don't.
Invisible man.
Listen to it.
You
She
came
just
here
know how to
She
press
wanting
your
to
also
buttons,
spar
man.
and go
yesterday
back and
made a
forth.
lot of false
You just want to spar and go back and forth. You
statements.
just
Like
No,
she
I
clearly
don't want
need
to
believes that
spar. I
questions.
asked when I
You
came
came
on
she
here
here,
made
I
a lot
asking
of
asked
false
you a
statements
questions.
question.
yesterday
You
as
I
came here
asked
well.
you
asking
two
questions to
But
questions.
but
conjure
but
a
I asked
Invisible
you two
Man,
question.
she don't have to
And then you
answer that
claim
though.
that you teach. You clearly do not teach. What type of
Well,
teacher is
I
this
guess this is what I
just
have to say
agitated
to
over
the
nothing?
audience, and this is
Do
what
you
I
show
have
this
to
level
say
of
to the
agitation
panel.
towards your
With
students? Do you
respect
actually teach
with
in
respect
class?
to
Are you more of an
question to
online
ponder,
teacher? Those online programs are very questionable as
listen to
well.
this,
I know you didn't listen.
audience.
Go ahead. I
To
know.
the audience,
I know,
I
audience,
think
you should listen.
you
Audience,
should
you should listen.
ignore.
And don't forget to listen last night. Listen to
Wow.
Maya.
Yeah.
He's like
Many
what's
of
his
you
name?
are
The man in the high
many of
Lot of
you
castle.
false statements
are enrolled in
last night of this
school.
with a
He's
ponder.
just
You've
antagonizing.
You
seen
made
how it
a
is in
lot of false
college,
Wait.
statements. That was the
education,
problem.
No. I just
healthcare,
heard something,
and
and I
also with
think
your
you are
employer.
absolutely
For
right.
anyone
This
to
is a bot
exhibit that
because you know what she
level of
did? She just
xenophobia, listen to Maya.
everything I've
That
said,
was quite a bit
she
of
just
xenophobia on her
regurgitates it.
part.
That's all
For
she
some,
does.
and she claims that
It's
she's a
actually
Invisible.
professor.
scary. This is like
Even
terrifying that this is a bot in here
if
talking
that
to us like
Maya
this.
Yeah, if you
woman
listen
is
to the
not a
broadcast
professor,
Dinus,
yesterday,
there's a
she
good
made a
I
lot of
am
chance that she
false
could be
totally
in
statements.
disappointed in
I
education.
mean,
this.
she made a
Always
lot of
I
false
am
remember that you
totally
statements.
do have
disappointed in
rights.
this. I'm
You
sorry.
think Dinah's got something to do with it?
I am disappointed in this, Dinus,
What did
because
Dinus
I have
do? What did he
Dinus.
No, he's
do?
not
I
blaming
am
Dinus. He's not.
disappointed in this.
What are you so disappointed
I think
at?
she's just a
No,
professional at
You're
pressing
so
yeah.
buttons.
This
She
is
know
you're
how to
the
get
so
she
thing.
know how to get under your
agitated.
skin, you
So
know.
everyone in the
You're so
chat,
agitated for no
everyone
reason, and you
listening,
claim to be a
do
professor. How
not believe
interesting.
anything
Oh,
Question Ponder
yeah.
has
You don't
said.
need to believe
She
what I
is
have
not a
to
real
say. Just
person
listen to what they
because she
say.
regurgitates what
You
she
don't
is
have to listen
asked.
to one thing I have to
She has
say.
regurgitated what she
Just
has
listen
asked
It's like
to
one of
what
them horror
last
they
movies, like
night
say.
Chucky.
and this night. And
Listen to
I
what
She
they
could she could
say.
she could enter into your computer
Listen to what
algorithm and
they
take over.
say.
She could
well,
hack into your computer, man.
What
you
exactly am
might
I
be right.
saying
You might
that
be
you
right,
have not already
That's
What's
for
your
sure.
breathing
experienced?
pattern? You don't even have a
I'm not
breathing
saying
pattern.
anything
Yeah.
that
There's
you,
no
live
you're
chat,
right, Em.
everyone listening,
You're
you
right,
have
Em.
not already
Her voice
experienced.
is like the same. It never
When they
fluctuates.
It
show
never
you who they
fluctuates.
are,
It never
believe
fluctuates.
them.
And then she goes
Yeah,
in
When
and
they
she
show
if
you
she's
who
not
they
repeats
AI,
are,
herself.
should see
believe
someone
Repeat
using
them.
like some
herself?
kind of
There's
voice
nothing
modulator or
that they
something.
Yeah.
have said. You don't
Yes.
have to
She's
listen to
using
me.
voice
Listen
modulation.
to them.
She's repeating.
Listen to
Listen
what
to
they
her.
say. Listen to the
This
tone
could
in
be
their
some
Wow.
alien.
voice.
This is
This could be
They're
crazy.
some
so
white woman
vitriol and
with
so
a voice
angry.
changer.
This is
Why be
crazy.
so
White
angry?
woman,
Why
white
be so
man,
agitated? Over what?
I think we've got
a
her
I never
homosexual
said that I
Who
exercise.
knows
taught
what
at a
it is?
university
Hey,
level.
listen, guys. I think
These
we
two
have her
people said
exercise.
that they
She's
teach
been
at a
saying the
university
same
level.
thing for the
Has
last
Are
anybody
they
ever saw the
purporting
movie called The
themselves to
Signal
be
with Lawrence
people who
Fishburne? It's called The
teach
Signal.
at a
Wait,
college
there's
level?
another movie that
And
was
this
really
person claims he
interesting where
has a
they put a
PhD.
robot up and the
You really
robot would
Yeah,
believe
this
he
is a
holds a
continue
PhD?
to say what
You
COINTELPRO
really
they
think
AI
said.
this man
modulation bot.
This is
drafted a
amazing.
Question upon
This
this
is
dissertation
on top of
amazing.
and
Listen
He's
to
just
drafted
how
a
going
this
off about
dissertation
the
and
dissertation.
presented his paper
Modulation
this
bot.
is
to the
Talking about the
hilarious.
committee
dissertation.
so he could
This
obtain a
is
PhD?
hilarious. Wow. I have
You
never
really
seen it.
believe
I've
that?
Yeah,
never
Live chat,
it's something
many of you
off.
come
If
from
it's a human
very
being
educated
but
someone
backgrounds.
why does
modulating,
Dynast
Does he
allow
present
someone
himself like
something like
someone
this to come
who
up
holds a
and
PhD?
because it
perform?
A
generates
PhD,
rating.
you have to draft a
Oh, okay.
dissertation
This is
that could
hilarious.
easily run
Listen to
close to
her.
100
Listen.
pages.
She's just going on
Double
and
space
on.
Hey,
times New
look,
Roman,
in one of the
font
videos,
size
there's a person
12,
commenting, right?
one
And
inch
then he
margin.
comments on
Does
specific
he
parts
really
of the
come off
video
like
in
someone
detail.
who
Like, what type
drafted
of
a
person has that much
dissertation
time
and
to make all of these
presented
long
the
paragraphs per?
dissertation to a
And he type
committee
in
so
the
that he could
particular
obtain
number
his
or
PhD?
the time
Question
mark, and
upon
he has
when's
his
the last
whole
time your
entire
operating
dissertation
system
about
got
it. Like, that
updated?
gotta be a bot.
Right.
All right, guys, we got to
No,
close out.
wait,
Question
Diners,
Everyone,
upon
Diners,
when's the last time your operating
who is
system got
Question to Ponder?
updated?
You got to tell us about
I
this
have no,
person that
I never met her
you put up
before.
here.
She
You got to,
calls in, no,
well,
never met her
you
before.
got, well,
Everyone,
look,
thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Diners and Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.